Right, we're rolling.
Oh.
Rolling.
Are we all in? Have a check.
Yeah.
Right, you look forward. Yeah. The edges. Is it record of Oon?
As long as I'm in, it's all that matters, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah. Recorded doing. Who's doing it? Is it me? Because it's my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Fuck.
If not that, should be whoever's in the middle. I haven't checked yet, but...
Yeah.
Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse! Ladies and gentlemen, the Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of the Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse, which, as you can see, is 3 Warbosses, 1 place. It's almost 3 bosses, 1 cup, but, you know, even messier.
We'll see.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I fucking just tied it up.
I mean, this is the most of the floor of this room that I've ever seen. Frankly, it's nice. It's nice. So yes, we are hosting a special episode at my house, with Dread, who's visiting, and Sid, who lives just down the road anyway.
Hello.
So we thought we'd do like a mini little orky talky thing where we talk about some orc stuff, and unfortunately we're talking about the actual rules, but why not the other two are keen.
Well,
Yeah. So we thought we thought we would.
Steve-O.
he means Steve-O. No, it was a case of, look, you know, we need to talk about something, and we haven't really actually even discussed the data cards really properly yet,
No.
have we?
No.
Well, two of us have.
Steve-O has it.
Yeah. Well, it's occasionally Clint.
Steve-O and Clint did together in a sense. Yeah.
Clint, because there was only one person to interrupt him, he actually got some words in.
Still not as much as you think.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, we've picked some data cards because obviously I counted them. There's 57, right? So we weren't going to do them all, but
Doing 52.
we've picked 5 each that we'd like to talk about, and we're just going to go like one at a time. We haven't planned. One at a time and talk about them a bit. Talk about some of their rules.
Talk about some of the units that we're interested in, and
Yeah.
how they've maybe changed in this edition,
And what we
what
think.
we're happy about or not happy about, or
Yeah. Right. Who's kicking off then?
you.
Champion. Well, just at the top of the pile here, I've got... Are you going to put these on the screen or do I have to go like that?
Well, you know.
You can do. In post-ed, we've got Squig Hog Boys. Now, I like Squig Hog Boys. I do. I've used them before in 10th.
I know, yeah.
And...
I'm not in 10th, I know about them in 9th.
yeah. I didn't use them much in 9th. But I've got lots now, so I thought, well, I'll use them in 10th.
I was on the receiving end of some in 9th.
Yeah, they're good against grot tanks.
Yeah.
But they've also been really good against
Really good against
Speth Marines. When I used them, I just think they're a good all-round unit. They're nice and fast. They're tough. You can stick your hard as nails on them.
Yeah.
So the toughness is 7 and -1 to wound. They take a lot of punishment. 3 wounds, 4 up save. Yeah. They take it and they can dish it out as well.
So are they as good this edition as they were last edition, or are they better?
I think they're a bit better. I don't know why. I think they've got a good feel no pain. They've got a 5 up feel no pain, which they didn't used to have. Used to have a 6 up invul,
Which is kind of snake bitey, to be honest.
yeah, it is. Now I take my caps off. They ignore all the assorted charge modifiers, which they didn't used to have. So for going through things and all the things, you know, all these horrible strats. I don't know if they're still in them for the other factions that slow you down by 2 inches or D6 inches.
Oh, like
they,
Death Guard and stuff like that.
yeah, they care not a jot for that kind of carry on. You got your bomb squigs, which to be fair you did have, but it's the things like the lance, the +1 to wound on the charge. They've got the 4-up anti on monsters and vehicles, so good for taking out the enemy's big hard hitting things. And more importantly, they've got a boatload of attacks, 3 from each boy, 3 from each squig.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost the saddle git attacks. They've sort of like rolled those into the squig attacks, but what's the word? The saddle gits were shite. They didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So they're no real loss. Yeah, they're just excellent for taking out the big threats. I dare say there's plenty of things could take them off the board, but you know, I like the Squig Hog boys. A unit of 6, and now you can stick a Noble Smasher Squig in with them, leading the unit.
Oh yeah, that's what you weren't able to do before.
Yeah, and
he was an individual, wasn't he?
That gives them the +1 to hit the need to make decent attacks. Just go to fantastic
Makes more
attacks, hitting on
sense in being
2s,
in a
exploding
squad
6s.
anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's not much bad I can say about the Squig Hog boys.
I think being a newish unit anyway, like they didn't come out all that long ago, that they're not going to have suffered anything like any of the older units. It's always the older units that tend to suffer the deeper changes and the loss of things. They haven't really lost anything. In fact, they've gained something, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I like the models as well. Not just the ones from GW, which are okay, but there's lots of nice third-party ones. There are some absolutely superb ones. I've seen ones I haven't got yet, but they're like big bisons.
Yeah,
and the orcs are like Wild West.
There's some that make the
like
Games Workshop ones look like kids' toys, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's some that look really fucking dope.
Yeah. No, it's an easy one to start off with. I've got nothing really bad to say about them. Yeah, Squig Hog boys.
And over here, I'll
Get 18.
I'll find
something bad to say about
I'll
them.
find something shit about them. There probably isn't, you know.
There's not. I've checked.
Unless you want to take it outside.
I mean, even their objective capturing ability is not bad.
Yeah, the Obsec 2, it's decent.
Because it's higher the better, right?
It's for every model. Yeah, is 2. So if you've got a unit of 6, if you still got all 6, it's 12. I mean, they'll struggle against a large unit of battle line unit.
So is that like the anti-4 plus the anti-vehicle 4 plus? Does that mean they always at least wound on a 4?
They always wound on a 4 plus against those things, monsters and vehicles.
That's pretty cool.
Which is good because otherwise the strength isn't massively high. It's decent enough to take out infantry, which they haven't got anti on, but they'll smash them anyway. But against toughness of vehicles, which has gone up a lot in 10th.
Yeah.
Like a Rhino is up to sort of strength 10 now instead of 7. They would really struggle against that. But with that 4 up anti, it's fine.
Yeah.
Weight of attacks takes you through.
Well, talking of vehicles, my first choice would be the truck. And like you say, they have bumped up their wounds and stuff. So you've got 10 wounds on a truck now, and it's only 50 points. So it's actually the best option, or near enough almost. It's not the only option, but it is the option for transport at the moment. It'd be the meta choice for transport at the moment. I liked the idea previously, and we'll get to one of my other choices is battle wagon. So we'll talk about that in a bit, but
spoilers.
Spoiler. Sorry, but you have got all the transport capacity and everything you need with a truck, really, and you're not losing any of it by how there's nothing you can modify to change it. So it comes with the wrecking ball. It comes with all all the things that come in the box. You've got the spike wheels, the wrecking ball. Oh, they've done away with the boarding planks. It's not a thing now. Oh. Or is it?
I don't think the ability was missing in 9th as well.
Oh, right.
Possibly 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Shows.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, there was 2 choices for. There was wrecking ball and there was. What was the other thing?
Grab and claw.
Grab and claw, yeah. So we've lost grab and claw as well.
The grab and claw's on the battle wagon though.
Yeah, the grab and claw never came with the truck. It doesn't come with the truck kit, does it?
Used to be one of the options for it though.
Yeah.
It's one of the options.
The hobby is dying slowly and slowly. Yes.
But yeah, no. I mean, the truck, in all honesty, is one of those things that you're going to see a lot of people use. It's finally getting its moment to shine. So It's my choice because I want to shed some light on it in the sense that I'm looking forward to seeing a hell of a lot of conversions of trucks and stuff, because as people need more than, or going to have more than one of them in their army, more than likely we're going to see some nice variation.
Does this mean Ramshackle's gone?
The overall rule Ramshackle, where it was, you know, -1 on certain strength weapons, yes, that's gone.
That's shit. There you go.
It got an invul save instead. Although saying that, a lot of vehicles.
It's a faction wide, from what I can see. A lot of things have got the six up in one.
A lot of them do.
Except for the one unit where I think that makes the most sense. But you know, we'll get to that.
It's very bare.
Yeah.
It's very bare. But yeah, it's a bare bones truck. It's just a very simple thing now.
It's 50 points.
Yeah.
It costs next to nothing. And there's a strat, Tank Shock, which is a generic strat, like, you know, for the game, as in all factions have access to it. And you pick one of your attacks, and you roll a d6 for every point of strength. So, you know, pick the Wrecking Ball, so strength 10. And if your strength is higher than the target's toughness, add an extra 2d6 to it. For every 5 you roll, they take a mortal wound, capped at 6. So with a Wrecking Ball, it becomes, on average, you're getting 4 mortal wounds with with that Tank Shock.
And it
becomes pretty hefty.
Yeah, and a lot of people would overlook it and not think about that.
But once a truck's generally got rid of its contents, you know, the units got out, people go out to truck, it's a mobile platform for a big shooter. You know, maybe you could take an objective or something like that, but it's not much of a
As it
threat.
goes, I pose a massive threat with a truck in our game of 9th. I took out his boss with it.
What happened to that boss afterwards?
Huh? Oh, it exploded. It was worth it. Totally worth it. But yeah, that's my first choice, was the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm going to surprise everybody here.
I doubt it.
I picked Gretchen. I've been having a look through. It's interesting. Anti everything 2+ and a 1+ invulnerable save. They're finally justifying 5 points. Finally. Oh no, wait, that's not there. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Right. Sorry, I don't sound very enthusiastic, do I?
No, but they're good.
We've got to take the run turd again. The rebel in me is quite irritated by this, but it is. I've got things to represent run turds. I tend to use.
Look, I would say just have like a grot boss.
Yeah, if you're
I
fluff-wise
use,
trying to say
Yeah, just
that
stick
we're,
a grot
we're,
boss in.
we're rebels.
I just use Squig herders. Just use those.
Yeah.
Because my grots are night goblins anyway,
Yeah.
so just grot prods to do the job.
There
But
you go.
it was nice. It was nice being 3 of them for an edition. That was fun. Well, 2 editions, wasn't it? Yeah. So they've got move 6, which is good. Although I think most things have got move 6 now, don't they? Toughness 2 as per, that hasn't changed. And then there was the whole thing about the whole unit's toughness 5 because of the run.
Yeah.
That's been sorted now, at least.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's on the card saying in for shooting.
It should have been sorted before the cards even came out. Come on, Games Workshop, get it to fucking together. 7+ save. I'm guessing so that when they have cover, they have a save.
Yep.
They don't have the 6+ invulnerable that most of our Ork units have, and they're the fluffiest unit to get it because they are the only Orkoids ever stated to use luck, which is kind of what an invulnerable save can be.
Death Skulls.
Probably makes more sense for them to have that. And Death Skulls. Death Skulls make sense.
But I mean, they're not the only unit not to get the 6
I mean,
up.
you've
Most
got-
vehicles have the 6 up invul,
you've
and
got the
some of
orcs-
the beast snaggers.
You've got the Orcs have got really strong skin and they're really tough, so it just still makes sense for them to have it. But it's just like you could make that work for the Grots too. Is my only contention. And considering they have a 7+ chitty save, I suppose that's probably why.
7 up savers.
God, awful. Yeah, I like that they've got OC2. I'm quite pleased with that. I mean, that's what you're going to use them for anyway, is to go grab objectives. And the Thief and Scavenger rule's pretty nice.
There's been something talked about that recently. Because the way I read it, and the way I used it when I played a few games of 10th with Grots, was for every Grot unit on an objective, for every Grot unit that controls an objective, you roll a d6 at the end of your command phase, and if you get a 4 up on any of the dice, you get a command point.
New command point, yeah.
But what they're saying in turn 1, you're generally on your own home field objectives, if anything. So that was like up our own dice straight away. But what I've seen recently is people saying you don't control a phase, an objective until the end of. I'm not sure if it's the end of your movement phase or the end of your turn. I can't remember when it is, but you don't control it by the end of your command phase.
Yeah, a bit like before when you couldn't score off the back of turn 1.
Yeah. So you haven't got the objective yet. So in turn 1, you're not rolling to take, to get a CP because. But at the end of, if you go second, you do roll. If you go second, you do roll. But if you go in first, you don't. Look
Doesn't that
explain in the comments?
Well,
I can't remember exactly what it is.
This will come up again because when I reveal another data sheet, that'll come up, and we'll have to talk about that too. But
yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you know where that's going. They still got the Grog Blaster. I still think the Grog Blaster's great. It's it's a whole lot of diddly. Although maximum 20 now, that's shit. That is shit.
Oh, I thought you meant range of the blaster.
No, just max 20 in the unit is shit. It just is. After they've fixed how leadership works to not be stupid, so that it's more like the old leadership. They go, let's not have 30 grots where that would make sense.
How about other minuscule units in the game? How about like Nurglings and other little miniature things?
And Scarabs, Necron Scarabs. I don't know what the unit cap is, but it's going to be capped at a lot less than 20. But it's going to be capped at less than 20 bases.
If it caps at 10, that is probably 30 wounds.
If it caps at 10, it will maybe be more.
Yeah, we ain't got that.
Yeah, I mean, granted,
multi-damage
weapons will be more effective than 20 Gretchen, I suppose. But it's. I
think they used to cap at 9 in 9th, so I can't imagine. That's for Scarabs. I can't imagine they've gone up.
Yeah,
they may have stayed the same. They may have went down, but I'm sure they're like 4 or 5 wounds a pop as well.
Yeah. I suppose again it depends on what's in the box.
It totally depends on what's in the box. I think you got 3 in a box of Necron Warriors.
Yeah. The unit has good utility.
Very good, yeah, it's cheap.
Not particularly fluffy. People are talking about a lot of fluffy rules this edition. There are some really good ones. We'll definitely talk about some of those. This is not very fluffy. And I don't know. I don't know what to think. How many points are they each?
55. That's for 10 grots with a run turd.
So there's still 5 points above. Fuck off.
If you're counting a run turd as costing 5 points, yeah. But let's face it, a run turd is basically a knob. I don't mean he's abusive to the grots, although he probably is. But he's 2 wounds, he's strength 5, he's 3 attacks, he's got a knob. And how much does a knob orc cost? I mean, to be fair, 8 points.
And I'm guessing you just buy him. You buy him in multiples of whatever you have. So presumably it's 110
for 20 grots with 2 run turds,
which is an absolute rip off. Yeah, absolute rip off. That's useless.
Well, I've used them. I thought they were done really well for what they need to do.
How many did you use?
I had a unit of 10 plus run turd and a unit of 20 plus run turd. I did use a big unit of 20. And it wasn't just a 20 or 22, there was a 23rd, and then there was a little unit of 11 just in the backfield holding the own, and the other one's going forward. But just to hold objectives.
What played better, the bigger units or the smaller units?
The smaller units essentially never even got shot at, because I think people just look at them and go, 10 grots.
Just grots,
okay.
Yeah.
There's 3 death dreads coming us down there.
They're not necessary.
And they just sit at the back and do what they do. And attack wise, with a 12-inch, 10 strength 3 hits, they didn't do much. The unit of 20 got up close, and because of a couple of run turds and the special character, they were a bit more of a threat.
Yeah.
And they could move a bit. They were decent. They were good. But with the special character, they're a lot more than 110 points as well.
Them around.
No. That we'll come to that one. But you can get sort of advanced moves and what have you.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. because obviously I like to use them in front line, which will not work. I mean, granted, they're not necessary anymore because troops aren't needed to make a list. I can go straight into the grot tanks and the other stuff. Suppose I could take just some just for objective fodder, but it seems a bit like a waste. I've absolutely got no reason to get any more Gretchen or to bother with them.
No. Well,
there is one exception. We might talk about that in a bit.
I don't think the battle line anymore.
No, they're not.
They're not battle line.
So you can only have 3 units.
So that the most you can have is 60. I've got 120 Gretchen. I don't need them.
2-player game.
Well, if I play in 3rd edition, they all work and they are better.
I mean, if you look at the points, I don't
sneak that in anyway.
I don't think the points is wrong for them, because every new edition, everyone's points get sort of janked around.
Yeah.
And you're looking at points, you're comparing them to previous editions and what they used to be points wise, and you compare it to what they are now. But if everybody's shifted, then
it's only relevant.
it's totally irrelevant. The points isn't subjective. It's based on that edition
unless
alone.
40k has changed radically. The main metric that you judge things by is how their ability to deal with other units. And Gretchen have never been good at dealing with other units.
Well, I would say it has changed, and because it's now so. I mean, you see so many, and I don't think this is necessarily a good thing, because I'm used to the old 40k where it was like, right, what we're doing, I'm going to kill you, and you're going to kill me, and that was it. Whereas now was a lot of points harvesting and sort of little mission. You know, you're doing all your objectives.
Comes from different things.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily come from the ability of a unit to kill somebody else. No. You see armies getting virtually tabled and romping away with the points. It happens quite a bit. If that's the way you play it, of course you can play it any way you want.
Yeah.
But I do think they're a tool in your toolbox which definitely has
does
a
the
use.
thing sort of okay.
But it can't do everything.
Yeah.
It's not a Leatherman's multi-tool.
When am I getting rapid fire guns back? Is what I want to know. Like I want auto guns back or an equivalent. I do like the grot blaster, but let's have 2 shots on 24-inch range. Come on.
What's your next choice, Sid?
Next choice, I'll keep it with the beast snaggers and the squiggly beast snaggers. I've actually got 2 cards here because I'm cheating.
I've done a bit of that.
The beast boss on Squigosaur.
Stole my idea.
He did say he was going to do it first. And if you're
I did,
not doing it first, I'm going to do it because I like to do what you do. Obviously, fat cap in the car. I just bought that yesterday. I got it on the way back from meeting you. Again.
I know, yeah.
And
I rub off on people.
I noticed that before, actually. Can you please
on
back
the back
that in?
of your trousers.
Explain that away when I get home to all that. So I just started eating yoghurt, but it was windy. Right, so the Beast Boss on Squigosaur and Mozrog Scragbad, the better or improved Beast Boss on Squigosaur. Better, improved, subjective. He does things better. You pay more for it. Is it worth the extra points?
You would have thought they would combine it into 1 miniature, wouldn't you? That's what they
Now,
tended to be doing lately. It's like, pay the points for it, but it don't matter. You've got a choice of 2 things, but you're paying all the points. You might as well go for the better thing.
I suppose the crucial question is Mozrog still as bullshit from coming back from death as he was?
As far as I'm aware, apart from the Orcs, I'm going to be glasses on and off all the time here, like, so I can just see the cards. I can't remember, is there a strat for like Orcs fighting on death? I know there's a strat for a unit to fight on death now, so if the boys can do it like it used to be characters.
Well,
but
they used to have
Mozrog
one, didn't they?
Doesn't come back from death. As standard, anyway.
Oh well, refuses to die is more the question.
Oh yeah, you can't kill him.
Yeah.
But you can't kill him because he's got a toughness of 10 and 9 wounds.
Fuck it.
With a 3-up save, and he's also got.
So he's as tough as a battle wagon.
His toughness is that of a soft top battle wagon.
Yeah.
A battle wagon owned by orcs in midlife crisis who just want to cruise around looking all swanky like bad ones and that. He's as tough as one of them. 9 wounds though, not as much as a truck. 3-up save, which are 4-up invul, and he's also got a 4-up feel no pain. So every wound he does take,
Jesus
he ignores
Christ.
half of them on average. He's a bit of a unit. The good things with him, or some of the good things, is he's got the he's chopper, to be fair. Gut Ripper, 6 attacks, hits on 2s, strength 7, -1 AP, 3 damage. The AP lets him down, and the strength is 7 surprisingly lets him down quite a bit. Not bad against infantry, but anything beefier it suffers. Although he does have the anti-monster, anti-vehicle thing on a 4-up. And against monsters and vehicles, his damage goes up by 1. Goes from 3 to 4. And it goes up to 5 if you're fighting a knight. I'm saying knight, Titanic.
Yeah, so he's not good against other characters, is he, particularly?
Not necessarily. Not with the AP -1. Just there's a lot of 2-up saves there. You don't even need an invul. You're still saving on 3s. Now, Big Chomper, he's squiggly bigly. He's bigly squiggly.
So he'll have some biting shenanigans.
He's got the 3 attacks hitting on 3s. Again, strength 7. It's not bad. -2 AP, but the key thing is he's got devastating wounds. So on a 6 or a critical hit, should I say, it bypasses the armor save and the damage turns into mortals. And he does that on a 5 because he's a hungry chomper. So on a 5 up the wound, the damage turns into mortals. And I've recently used him against the Dreadnought. Mozrog done nothing. He done about 2 wounds on it altogether, or 3 wounds altogether. And then Big Chomper went in and done 10 mortal wounds. Just boom, it was gone.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was beautiful. I was really quite pleased. But yeah, and then we had a little mock combat with him and Rowboat Girlybutt, and yeah, we done 2 rounds each, and both of them were still alive. That's never happened before with him. He dies really quickly, but he was all right. But he wasn't doing anything much in the back.
What's his points doing now, though?
I believe he's 185.
That's a lot.
So it is a lot,
Yeah.
but it should be a lot.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of eggs in one basket. But
on
yeah.
Squigosaur is about 155. He's about 30 points less, and he's just like a step down. His strength 6
So
instead of 7,
like
2 damage instead of 3.
Priced up there like battle wagons.
He's got the 4-up funeral pain as well, but he's only got a 5-up invul. Toughness, wounds are all the same. You know, he's the beast boss on Squigosaur. You can give the special equipment to.
Has he got a transport capacity in that gut?
No,
it doesn't have a transport capacity. But the beast boss on Squigosaur, you can give the enhancements to, the Warboss enhancements. So you can give him Edwopper's Kill Chopper, which turns things into devastating wounds, which makes him quite. I think it turns things into devastating wounds.
I suppose it has a transport capacity for your opponent's best stuff in his gut.
Yes, it does have that. But yeah, look, the best thing with this is, if you're willing to stretch to the point, you can have Mozrog Scragbad now without running snake bites.
Yeah.
You don't have to run snake bites, so you can have Mozrog, and then you can also have 3 beast boss on Squigosaurs to run along with him. Because you can have 3 of those. You only have 1 of him because he's a character, but you can have 3 of those.
Don't be surprised.
Have 4 of them.
Someone will do that.
Yeah, me.
Oh, you're going to do it? Someone's going to do it. And it's going to be.
Don't be surprised if when the Codex hits, he gets hit square in the bollocks with the Nerf bat, because
I don't think he will.
I don't think
he will. He's good. He's not ridiculous, and I'm basing that.
They're the one they're
against
letting us
everything
have
else.
at the moment. Because he's their newest model that they know people like the look of, and blah blah blah. They're going to keep pushing and selling that model for a while.
And look, I'm not fully aware of all the other factions, characters, and units and all this. And
oh yeah, if we get a new character when we get new miniatures, then he might get
he might get nerfed a bit just so you can go out and buy him instead.
Bet your any money we get Nasdrug when the Codex hits. I mean, Steve would very much like that.
I think you might be right.
I'd bite your hand off.
And I think that's the way that they need to lean next with Orcs, because we've done the beastie side of things, we've gone thoroughly. We need to go the techie side.
We need some high tech stuff.
Yeah, I think a Bad Moon Lean was probably on the
fucking
cards.
Battle Fortress plastic kit. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't need. No,
I couldn't afford to buy it, but I'd like to see it.
I do sense a sort of a lean in that. Not Bad Moons, because we're not doing clans now, but it will be a lean in that sort of direction towards.
I quite like this clan thing.
Also, I wonder if they're going to do a teleporter pad to terrain piece. I wouldn't be surprised. Or like a rock dropship, because we've probably needed those.
Have we still got the teleporter strat?
I don't know.
If they even did us like pieces of a damaged Orc rock or something like that, like as
Where's
pieces
the
of
other
terrain,
cards?
that'd be amazing.
Because you know how you've got you're starting to get these characters who are like on a base, and then they've got people with them on the same base.
Yeah.
You could do that with Nasdrag, and then you would have Waaaghmigos just standing in the background, and then you could have some like ridiculous, probably some grot assistance, and maybe like a knob with like a fancy gun or something like that. Just thinking stupid things.
Casinos do not beat an umbrella carnage mob rule. No, we don't have a teleporter anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's a kill chopper. Devastating wounds, yeah. So on fours against monsters and vehicles, it's like mortal wounds.
That's pretty
For the
sick.
beast boss. So yeah,
No teleporter pad.
No teleporter pad. That's a shame. I think because they've brought in that many sort of rules, like with reinforcements, where people can come in.
See what happens with the codex.
It
Yeah, the
doesn't seem a lot
teleporter
of
pad
use for it.
seems like something that people would have actually gone to some effort to go and actually make
I know,
physical
but
one.
we've
as
had
They're not
additions and
interested in that
additions
hobby
to do
anymore.
that. Yeah, but where's yours? I haven't got one.
well.
I
No,
haven't
fair.
bothered me arse.
I had the intention for one.
So when I'm set up in the dining room
Got
for a
the
game,
stuff.
I've got a teleporter pad in me downstairs bog, so I can go, the truck, and go and get it.
They're only going to do.
Yeah.
They're only going to do rules if they can flog you something. That's the bottom line. But you know,
Right.
it is what it is. So your
Well,
next one?
Was with the battle wagon. As I was saying with the truck, I went for the battle wagon because I wanted to talk about the fact that it's now really not a viable transport, in my opinion, really, because you're paying the points, you might as well have all the shit on it, and so then it's a gun wagon at that stage. So by removing the free options and just leaving you with the one, but saying you're paying all the points, then you're gonna have all the shit on it. But then that's frustrating as well, doubly for people that like to play WYSIWYG and have got a battle wagon that is modelled without those weapons on. And then it throws confusion into the game as well, because your opponent's going, oh, well, I don't see that on there. I didn't realise it had that. If you're going to say, oh, it's a battle wagon, it's a battle wagon. Yeah, it's got this, this, and this. If it's not modelled on there, it's going to cause confusion. I get what they're doing with the whole changing things to only give you what you have in the kit, but the battle wagon's got options in the kit, and they should remain options. I think if you're going to have a complete trim down on the amount of options you have in a game, fair enough, but there are probably maybe 3 units per army that really do need to maintain a level of options, and for the orcs the battle wagon is that one. I've got a bunch of battle wagons now that are basically useless that I'm not going to finish or not going to bother painting at the moment for this edition anyway. I'm going to have to go with the ones that I've done like magnets on that I can reuse and or put things on and take off later on if they change it again.
Does the crew, not crew capacity, sorry, the transport capacity, does that change with the options?
Yeah, if you get take the
Yeah.
kill cannon, it's 12 rather than 22.
So you drop down by 10 for you taking the kill cannon. What about the normal cannon?
Normal cannon, no.
Right, because I was going to. That's one thing I wasn't sure on that, because I was thinking if you're going to put a turret on top with a cannon, why would you affect your transport capacity? Because it's a turret goes on top. I know certainly always used to be little guns were fine, but if you put the big super cannon in, which takes up half the back end
Yeah,
and all
and
that,
you've got to imagine
that makes sense.
internally you've got like
But
loading
the
room.
kill
and-
cannon was it's always just been a little, slightly bigger cannon
Yeah.
in the turret.
You
Never
can always
affected
add the
transport.
lobber in, and you can have.
But
one
it
of
used
the
to be
others.
putting the death roller on it affected the transport capacity, didn't it? Or was that just the bone breaker itself?
Yeah, the bone breaker itself, the death roller didn't actually affect the transport capacity.
Right,
but
so the bone breaker just had a lower.
on the like on 8th anyway. With 8th you had the hard case did. Put the hard case on.
You can make it pretty. You
I
can
just
make
thought
it
I
pretty
stopped you
killy
shooting.
as long as you don't bother with the kill cannon. But I mean, the kill
But
cannon is
the
the best
point
gun.
is if you've got all of those guns and stuff on it anyway, then it's a tank,
Yeah.
right? So you've built a tank. You don't really want to then put a bunch of valuable models in it to then draw even more attention to it. You know, so
I mean, it is pointing attention to the fact that we don't really have a heavy tank in the regular codex
No.
that does
something
the tank
that's
role.
been missing from the Ork Codex for much too long
Speedster'd be nice.
is an Ork tank.
Speedster
Yeah.
would be lovely.
I mean, the kill cannon, it is a better gun than the cannon, but it's still shit.
Yeah.
You're not going to go, right, well, I tell you what, I'm going to put my kill cannon in to take care of that. It's not going to do anything.
No.
You shoot it on the chance you're going to get, on average, 3.5 hits, one of which, well, sorry, 3.5 shots, one of which is going to hit. Then you've got a chance to wound. You're already into sort of like below 1 a turn.
You barely do
actually
anything with
wounding. Then you're going to save it, and it's only got a -1, -2.
The kill cannon is -2.
-2, and if it gets through, how many d6 damage is it?
D6 plus 3.
That shot.
that's
Oh,
the
sorry,
attack,
that's shots.
sorry.
Oh, so you get a few more shots. You get 6 shots.
Two damage.
Two
Two damage.
2 damage, man.
It's not worth it.
Waste me fucking time.
Yeah.
Might as well put a cannon on.
And I've
And
got a kill
hopefully,
cannon.
and
It
hopefully that
looks
one
lovely.
shot gets through doing d6.
It looks lovely. This is the thing though. The kill cannon worked last time around because of the other dynamics that it had working with it. So there was I can't remember what it was called, but when I used it, I was bolting on the other stuff to make it at least hit easier, wasn't it? I think it was to make it,
Well, the other thing is because they've rolled everything into the one battle wagon now. You can only ever have 3 of them. That's the other thing I mentioned.
That is because what you said at the start there about you don't think it's a viable transport.
Not really.
I think it is a viable transport, but only a viable transport, because it does the job. It's still quite tough. So 16 wounds, strength
but
10.
for the points, it's just not worth it. You're better off with 3 trucks.
What points is it now? It must be about 100. You're right. It's about 150 more.
Yeah, it's like this is like 3 trucks.
Hang on.
Yeah,
I've got
go
the
on,
points
find out.
there.
But while you're checking, the other thing about it though is it has got tougher, but then everything's got tougher. So it's gone from
everything
8
else
to
got
10.
tougher. You're right.
So is that a little bit harder? And it's got 16 wounds, tough, tough 10.
It's got an
3 plus
invul,
save.
but
Yeah.
the invul's what, 6 up?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I've got 6 up invul.
So,
I mean, it's nice to go. Yeah, I've got a 6 up invul, but it just means that
It's
It's
kind
an
of
extra
a
dice
it's
to
kind
roll
of
before
it's
it
kind
goes
of a
up.
boat car, isn't it? It's ill-equipped for both modes of
Yeah.
locomotion.
and this is why the split was necessary before.
Yeah.
Or at least given, the reason they did the split before, the reason we had the bone breaker and the gun wagon is because GW didn't want to say, here's a battle wagon and all the options you can do. They still did give us a battle wagon entry with some options, but they didn't want to go, here's a battle wagon and all the options, because they did want to tie, which did work, they'd want to tie something special to the bone breaker. So if you specifically make it as a death
It
roller
especially
wagon.
kind of sucks if you're not getting like say if you like the idea of a shooty battle wagon, that you can't just pick a shooty clan to give it that further buff to make it justified. If they've not got any of that, it's going to be feels bad, unless they go with I mean, we might get what we got towards the end of the Orks last time, where we start getting these custom jobs.
More than that, isn't it? 180, isn't it?
185.
Oh,
Fucking
Jesus,
hell.
fuck,
Well, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So
I still think it's very tough, and with a death roller, it gets stuck in. Everything else I'd put on, everything that wouldn't affect its transport, and it's just additional shots. You're not going to do much with it, but
I mean, you
I
could
think
still
they- I
ruin.
still think they
You
can.
could still ruin someone's day if you keep it minimalist and then roll out with like 20 chopper boys with some kind of character buffing. That's
what's
gonna.
the point of keeping it
it's gonna
minimum?
wreck
So
face.
I'll have all the shit on it.
Well,
you can't have the only thing you'd be missing is the kill cannon. You'd have a
Yeah.
normal cannon instead of a kill cannon.
yeah.
And I would argue the
And the
normal
cannon's not
cannon
bad.
is just as
Yeah.
it's on the same level. Let's put it that way.
It's just as hit and
Levels
miss.
down here somewhere, but it's still on the same
Some
level.
of the data cards and some of the sort of I think is pretty cool, but this needs fixing. Fix it.
Speaking of,
Speaking of fixing things, I thought I might as well. I'm dedicated to a theme, so I'm going to talk about Zodgrod now. I'm trying not to look at the picture of the model because I hate it, but yeah, he's pretty spicy now. I really like the way that the super runs thing works, because obviously attaching him as a character to a unit, it's a good way of doing it. Because they're doing this, it's a bit like the old third ed retinue thing. Not as cool.
How's that working fluffy for you? Is it because he's inspiring them?
he's dosing them.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel about the special dose thing. I mean, like, he's not fucking Fabius Bile. He hasn't stuck them all with needles.
I thought it was all about giving them treats and sort of like, you know.
That's how I'm gonna headcanon it. That is how I'm gonna try and make some kind of
loves
Rebel
them.
Grot thing that makes this make sense, because if I want to make Gretchen into a decent unit, it's pretty much the only way
Lumps
to do
of
it.
cheese with happy pills pushed into them.
I suppose this is what I'm guessing. This is what GGB4. Or if with Zodgrod we can make one good grot unit, they'll be fine with that. Like, yeah, okay. But
well, 2 would have been overpowered.
yeah, that,
Grot blasters hitting on 3s.
yeah. But I mean that's going to be funny. Now the thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that Super runs. He's got the Scout 9-inch.
Yes.
With them. So does that mean that he could, in effect, grab an objective in no man's land, turn 1, and then start using it at the start of his command phase?
Well, they can definitely. I was going to say they can definitely grab an objective in no man's land turn 1 if it's within 9 inches, obviously.
Yeah, it's a tall ask.
But then you don't have to be within 9 inches. If it's 9 inches away, you've got to be within so much distance of it. I don't know when the actual control kicks in, though. I think you gain control of it at the end of a specific phase, which you wouldn't do in a pre-game move. You'd be primed for it, and you can, interestingly enough, put that unit of grots in a truck. The 10 grots, the run turd, and Wartsnagger can go in a truck, and because it's a dedicated transport, it gets the Scout 9-inch move.
Oh.
So the truck can move 9 inches.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he can get out in your first turn, 3 inches, and then they can move the 6 inches, and then they can get a charge off if they wanted
Also,
to.
have
So
you-
they
have
can
you
be
looked
like wham.
Have you looked at the
really
grab
far.
zapper? Because that is spicy.
It's not bad at all.
5 attacks, hitting on 2s. Strength 7, AP -2, damage 2.
Yeah, it's a marine
I
colour
mean,
basically. Yeah,
That's you can run around with him with a handful of grots and really wreck face. It is quite surprising.
now I did use him in the game I had at Waacon. Thanks, Pale. And I used him with a unit of 20 grots, and I think it was against Pale actually. He killed the grots to a man. He killed all 20 grots. Left him and the 2 run turds.
Yeah.
Now the run at that point we started using the toughness of the run turds because there was no grots left.
Yeah.
That seemed sort of like, I had a chat about it and thought, yeah. So he does give them -1 to wound as well, which makes the grots a little bit more survivable, but makes toughness 5 run turds very hard. When they're getting hit with strength 4s, it was 6s to wounds, and they went on a little commando unit of 3 of them, just ran off and. I mean, they killed 5 stone boys, right? That was all I've done. But it was, oh, this is good. But yeah, it was because he took 20 grots out and not a single one more, like, but he is good.
I mean, also just the fact that he can make grots like move twice. They move 12 inches in one turn. When
Is that the turn of the Y? Yeah.
Yeah, the special dose. Just spicy. I'm guessing. I mean, I probably looked this up at one point, but I'm guessing you can only add 1 character to a unit, right? You can't add 2.
For the most part,
Yeah.
there is an exception which we'll come to
Oh,
later on. But with grots, you
'Cause
can
I
only
was
add one.
thinking
But the run turds.
there
not
is a way
character.
to make this spicier. It is stupid, especially if Phil No Pain works the same way it used to.
There's certain characters can be added to certain units. You can't put any character with any unit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I think the only character that can be added to grots is Zodgrod.
they fixed it. So you oh.
Yeah. They say on the back of the on the grots bonnet, say on the back of there what they can have. The Gretchen one. Right.
I don't think that. I think it's just on the back of the characters.
Oh, it is on the characters, yeah.
The best way to find that is just to search Gretchen.
This model can be attached to the following
on the
unit.
data sheets online.
What the fucking... Oh, you fucking bastards. Yes. Ruin all my fun, Games Workshop. Always. Anyway, next.
Yeah.
Next.
I'll keep in the theme.
What?
Should we have a break? I need a wee.
Oh, God. Go on then.
Just talk amongst yourselves.
Well, it's not alive, is it?
No. Right.
Right, part the second.
Right.
So, what's yours next one, Sid?
So, keeping it in theme with the Beast Snaggers, I do like myself some Beast Snaggers, I've went with the Beast Snagger Boys. That was an excellent shot there, you see that. I just like the Beast Snaggers. I do like the... It's not so much that I like the Beast Snagger models. I like the idea of them. I like the fact that I can use a lot of the EOS models with my Beast Snaggers. My Squig Hog Boys, I'll use a lot of EOS ones. I'm doing some Beast Bosses on Squigosaurs with EOS models. And Beast Snagger Boys, although I've got the Beast Snagger models, and they're alright. Tiny heads. I did put some bigger heads on though. I've again EOS Bone Splitters.
That seems to have been a thing. That seems to have been a thing with our latest spate of models. Was
Tiny heads.
Tiny heads, especially Gazzy. Fuck me.
Yeah, it's got a little pin nut. It makes them look bigger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does it?
I
don't know if it does.
It makes all your old models look odd.
Proper.
Yeah.
The term is proper. But no,
Yeah,
I do like the Beast Snagger Boys.
You were going to say about Savage Orcs.
Well, the EOS ones.
Yeah.
Well, I've used a lot of the Age of Sigmar, like the Bone Splitters for the Beast Boys on Squig Hog Boys, sorry, and obviously the Beast Snaggers, just because they're so much quicker to paint because they're all in the nip.
And we had a little excursion the other day where the boys took me to one of their local gaming stores.
Yes.
Oh, not gaming stores, model shops.
Model shop. It's a model shop.
It's a model shop.
Very serious elderly gentleman in gilets.
3 decent rows upstairs, aisles of modelling supplies, paints and stuff like that.
Tools.
All the stuff that, there was plenty of stuff. I did get a couple of bits and bobs.
And a model kit dungeon.
And then a model kit dungeon. And but it wasn't there that we bought them, was it? It was actually
GW. It wasn't. We actually paid full whack.
Yeah.
We paid full price.
Went to an official
Non-discounted, an official GW store.
So we went halves on a box of them.
We went in and the young lady, I know, asked us if we liked Warhammers.
She was new to the hobby herself.
She was new. Basically, it was that her OnlyFans, and she went for the most degrading. Unfortunately, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping her clothes on.
Yeah, working for Jason.
But yeah, I don't know what else was. But yeah, we had a chat there. We ended up going half us, didn't we?
Yeah.
We split the box of models. No.
Yeah, because I've got the same intentions as yourself. I probably gave you the idea.
You did, yeah. In a dream, as I remember it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I do dream a lot about Dread.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably true.
Yeah, so I think there's quite a few of these the Savage Ork Bone Splitters going around. You can use them as Beast Snaggers. I think you can use them as Beast Snaggers perfectly, but you can use them as Snake Bites, or you could use them as the old Feral Orcs. You know, a lot of scope. And like I say, nice to paint, because there's not all the gear. Just some bones out of the ghoulies, and that's about it. But the unit, the Beast Snagger Boys, they just hit a bit harder than normal Orc Boys. If you just want a straight up slugger chopper unit, that's going to hit a bit harder. I like the Beast Snagger Boys. You do pay their premium for them.
Yeah.
110 points, I believe, for a squad of 10, whereas the boys come in at 85. So it's a good chunk cheaper for the boys, but extra strength, feel no pain, bonuses to hit against monsters and vehicles. Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. So yeah, there's not much you can say about them other than I like them for the modelling opportunities.
Same amount of wounds as well. Yeah.
Same amount of wounds.
Same amount of toughness.
Same toughness, same movement. They hit the same.
Saves the same.
Saves the same. Although they've got that 5 up feel no pain. I don't think they're as flexible as the boys, but we'll come on to that. And the thump gun is, it's alright. D3 shots.
And they don't have anti-anything, do they?
No, they're the only Beast Snagger unit that, one of the only ones, that doesn't have an anti-keyword. I think if they had anti-vehicle and anti-monster, 4 up the same as the rest, that would be a bit much.
Steve was feeling smug again, isn't he?
Yeah.
You might have.
You can smell it, can't you?
Yeah. Just gonna say, because in his little tactica he did of the unit, he did mention they didn't, and a lot of people argue and blind that they were anti when they were.
I think there was some people pointing out that they did, but it's a lot of the Beast Snaggers do, but not the Beast Snagger Boys. They're They're just infantry killers, and they are infantry killers with the amount of attacks they get. Yeah, good few attacks, good strength, hit well. Yeah.
Ah, so they've got slightly better sluggers.
No, I think the sluggers are the same.
Oh no, the thump gun is the thing that replaces it.
The
right.
thump gun, yeah, you can have one thump gun per 10, and it's got a good strength, it's got decent damage, D3 shots or whatever, but it's.
I mean those D3 shots are probably going to miss, but yeah.
But cool. This is it with Orks. You never look at a unit and go, they've got this gun, that's brilliant.
18-inch range is better than I was expecting. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's basically the old was it the M79, the breech loading grenade launcher. I had one from the Action Man when I was a kid. That's the only reason I know it. I'm not obsessed with grenade launchers.
No, you didn't tell me about your...
2 or 3's good as well.
Didn't tell me about your collection of guns before you were married. No.
Oh right, I see.
Airsoft.
So if you take the thump gun, you have a slightly worse chopper.
Yes, yeah. It's one of those things that you'd think when you take the thump gun because it's free, well, it used to cost points, but yeah, it replaces the chopper.
You'd think if you have 2 hands to hold your gun that you'd hit a little harder in combat.
Or you might have a more steady hand and your weapon skill might be slightly improved, ballistic skill might be slightly improved. But
I suppose blood loss in that regard, yeah, that's possible.
Mind you, on that strength.
Means his cock.
God, here we go again.
And the knob has a power stabber.
Power snapper.
Snapper?
Yes.
Oh, this is a different one.
It's the power claw light.
Oh, right, it's a snip.
It hits better, as in like weapon skill wise.
It's easier to swing because it's not so cumbersome.
Yeah, it's slightly less powerful. It's on the sort of big chopper type of ballpark.
I suppose you've got a reroll to hit against monsters and vehicles, don't you?
Is it a reroll or +1?
A reroll hit rolls.
All right, I thought it was +1.
You can tell
that's
weapon,
good.
That was definitely a weapon that they've gone. We've made a model for it. We better make some rules for it, rather than going. Oh, do you know what we need to insert into the Orks? The Orks need a weapon that's somewhere here.
Yeah,
they haven't done that. They're gone.
If the game was properly streamlined,
we've made this miniature. Well, it doesn't look as good as this, and it doesn't look as good as. Well, let's
it's
put
not
it
as
at that.
big, yeah.
You know.
But no, I like them. I like them.
Whereas Space Marines have been modelled.
Straight on
I'm
the
having
boys.
a double go here.
Yeah.
It's like what's that game with the cards? Uno
Reverse.
Reverso.
Uno reverse.
Fuckers. So compared to the boys,
Spain,
yeah.
Compared to the boys, they both have the same maximum unit size, which is great
Uno
for the
on
beast
holiday.
sluggers and not so
Spanish
good for the
version.
boys.
Isn't it? Family order.
So I wasn't listening, mate.
Oh, sorry. Was you talking?
I was talking to the lovely people out
sorry.
there. If you want to Dred's opinions on Uno, then just
Tune in.
tune into Uno chat. Yeah, boys. The elephant in the room is 20 boys in a unit max.
Shite. I know why they've done it. It's because
Insert door slamming.
their system can't handle numbers. So they've instead of going,
Well, the table size.
we'll try and legislate it with points. People spotted that, so now they've just gone. No, we're going to make sure that units are fixed because you know what, they're wimps, and so are Imperial players because they don't have the tenacity to put up with 30 boys, and you know
Maybe. It's. I mean, I've used 20 boys, and they've done well. We've done very well, actually. We've done what they wanted to do, or what I wanted them to do, and then they did all die.
We're moving away from being a horde army, aren't we?
hopefully.
I mean, you can still field what 120 of them.
Oh yeah, because they are battle line.
Because they're
like
battle line.
Gretchen.
They're the battle line unit, unlike Grots. So you can still. I'm not that bothered by the 20. It'd be nice to have a unit of 30. Don't get us wrong, but a unit of 20 was a pain in the arse to move around. No movement trays, obviously, but a unit of 30 would have been 50% worse. But you know,
But 50% better when you got to combat and
That's true.
killed everything by overkill, which is the only kind of kill that you should kill with the kill stuff.
It's kind of the Orky way.
But besides the 20 model cap in a unit.
They're still a great
There's
unit.
so much. They are. They're really good, really sort of fighty. Obviously, I've not ran them with shooters yet. I imagine the shooters are
Are they still more points?
they more points than what?
Sluggers. They
No,
used to be more
sluggers,
points.
chopper, shooter, same points. 85 points for
Right,
10.
Oh yeah, they got rid of that, didn't they? You don't pay for upgrades anymore.
No, you can put your rocket launchers in or your big shooters, whichever one you prefer. You can give your knob the big chopper or the power claw, depending if you want them to hit accurately lots or hit really strongly less times. I'd still say the power claw basically because it's nice and hefty. But yeah, they're very fighty. And what I think the biggest advantage they've got, as well as being 25 points cheaper than the Beast Snaggers, is the flexibility with the character model that you put with them. If you put a leader, and with a unit of
Almost
20
all the
boys,
characters say they can go with boys.
yeah,
all
most of the characters can go with boys. Yeah, you're right. All the non-Beast Snagger ones can
Yeah.
go with boys. And if you've got a unit of 20, they're a unit where you can take 2 characters if one of the characters is a Warboss. And because now you're not limited to 1 Warboss per army almost, it's you can have 3 of each Warboss model. You can have a couple of Warbosses scattered about. They're not too expensive. I think it's about 70. I've got the points down there, but it's under 100 points for a Warboss. And he just gives them all +1 to hit. And obviously he's an absolute beat stick himself. He gets an extra 4 attacks in the war.
So you could have like a Warboss and a Pain Boy.
Is
in
that
a
+1
unit
to
of
hit
boys a couple of
shooting
times
or
over?
combat or just combat?
I think it's just in combat. It's just in combat, just in melee. But it's. I mean, that's as I run them in slugger choppers. That's all I'm interested in. The sluggers are there just to something to do on the way, just firing shots in the air. But the other character, yeah, if you want to make them much more vulnerable, you can give them a 5-up feel no pain with a Pain Boy, who's also sort of healing and bringing stuff back. You've got the Mech with a KFF if you want to give them an invul. And the KFFs are decent now. The way I used it was with a Weird Boy, because you just on a 2-up in the movement phase, the jump. That's all it is now, a 2-up. You pick the unit up and plot them down somewhere else.
That's
And
how you
that was
that's how you use grenades now. Is that
they've got the keyword. There's a strat.
there's a strat for using
Yeah,
grenades, right?
it's
Yeah.
a mortal wound strat.
Yeah, that's
They are
not
very
terrible.
versatile in the amount of characters that can plug into them, but the
Yeah.
only thing that might prevent you from doing that is if you're running knobs or mega knobs and you're wanting those characters with those. So then you're like,
The knob, yes.
With my boys, then perhaps
The
I
knob,
won't.
the knob, yeah, because you've got the Warboss who can go in a knobs unit and a boys unit. Now you have got 3 Warbosses you can have,
Yeah.
so you could sort of, if you've got the points,
Have
of
one
course,
each, yeah.
do that. The Mega Knobs would be a Warboss in Mega Armor.
Oh yeah, and
So
the
that-
Mega Mech as well. Yeah.
Or the big Mech, and the big Mech's probably the better ones for that because he can bring them back,
Yeah.
which is kind of I'm sure
Yeah.
I might get that in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, boys and Beast Snagger boys. Do you know what? I normally go Beast Snagger boys for just a unit of 10, but that 25 points saving you get with normal boys is brilliant, especially
Do you know
when
the
you
interesting
haven't
thing?
got the little, they haven't got the spare change
Those
points.
channels that talk about tier lists and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, they have been shitting all over the boys and saying boys are shit now, and they would always take Beast Snaggers.
If you look at the 2
Idiot
data
tournament
cards,
players being idiots.
if you look
Yeah.
at the 2 data cards and go which is better, then
Boys.
the Beast Snagger boys. If you look at the data cards, the Beast Snagger boys are better because they've just you go well that number's the same, that number's the same, that number's the same,
And
that
that
number's
one's
the same,
more.
that one's more, that one's the same, that one's the same, that one's more, that one's they can do this, they can't. It's Beast Snagger boys all the way just on stats, but they've got the flexibility of what you can add onto
Yeah.
it, which changes the way they use that unit. With a Weird Boy in, I mean, I jumped my unit in. He done headbanger unit of 20, so its damage is like +4. Took out a lieutenant, took out their squad leader, then charged in, and they just wrecked face. Fast attack unit with a Weird Boy. Pain Boys and Mechs give them much more durability. The knob makes them a lot more fighty. There's loads more versatility.
I'm going to say the same thing.
They haven't got it.
I'm going to
compared
say the
them
same
with
thing
that.
I always say about boys. Boys are the ubiquity.
Yeah.
They have the,
The backbone,
ubiquity.
yeah.
They are the backbone of any Ork army if you want them to be. They've got. I
Well, they
mean,
need to
bearing
be,
in
they
mind,
need to stay there.
I've never used them as a core unit, but even I can see that, well, I haven't never, but you know, like
If they become irrelevant or a non-used,
No, they won't.
if they become a
I don't think they
non-used,
would.
if they ever became a non-used unit in the Ork army, then that would be the very sad day because you know they obviously need to be.
no,
in
they're
the
too
forefront.
they're too useful. I mean, like they're going to have a load of Ork characters that can be added to them, right? They've got an awful lot of flexibility. You can equip them to have a go at basically everything. I mean, yes, I know that your charming little boom snaggers, whatever they're called, have got like some way to specialise a little bit, but these can specialise fully. And also,
Yeah, but that's what.
spicy thing. Is nobody talking about the fact that you can take any amount of sluggers and shooters in any combination that you like? There's nobody mentioning that.
GW have. Have you seen the new boys kit? I'm glad to see you on the same hymn sheet.
Fucking shite kit. It's got some good individual
ones.
sculpts, and then there's some dog shit ones.
I've
Hello,
said
big
before,
shooter.
70% of that kit is really decent. 20% is alright. 10% is shite.
Garbage.
But once you've bought it once, I don't see the point of buying it twice.
Yeah.
It is such a hard kit to work with as well if you want to do something different. But the boys, you stick 20 boys down, 170 points with a pain boy in, even just on its own, even without a special character, that's a unit which needs dealing with, and your opponent's either going to put lots of big, heavy firepower into it, like as in I'm talking like the big hard-hitting weapons, which are much better off shooting at other targets than a unit of infantry, or they're going to hit it with all their normal anti-infantry guns, which with a tough strength of 4 against T5, wound on 5s, stick hard as nails on them for 1 CP, the wounded on 6s, they're going to hang around for a while. They're going to take some shifting.
Also, spicy take. Take 10 and 10. So take 10. Well, take 7 shooters, 2 specialists, and then your knob, right? And then you've got your shooters. As you're moving into the position you want to get to, your shooters are firing away. And when you take casualties, you take the shooters off. And by the time, after a couple of turns, you are within smashing face range, and you've got all your sluggers, and you clobber them.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Especially, I would never normally take big shooters or rocket launchers in a boys unit. I didn't think it was worth the points. Not when I wanted slugger choppers primarily.
You use your shooty to get you
Whereas
there.
now, I'll stick them in, and as they're marching up, because there's no penalty for moving and shooting with a rocket launcher now, it hasn't got the heavy keywords, you're not getting any benefits or penalties. So you might as well get a few of those shots off, and you've got to take a few wounds before you get there. And even if you don't, even with 20, you can't get 20 into combat. You got 20 models. If you do it well, and there's a lot of the enemy, you might get 15, 16 in. My experience.
Yeah.
And if they don't shoot you,
just stay at the back and just take them off first.
And if they don't shoot your boys and they keep the squad full strength, they're rapid 1. So when you get within 9 inches range, you're firing 3 shots with each of them.
I suppose the other thing to mention is that they no longer got what was crippling us for a long time and always felt very unfair was the T-shirt save of 6+. At least now we've got a 5+ save.
Saves went up to 5+, and even more so.
None of them.
The sort of the morale rules now, if they take some hits and they take a battle shock test, and the leadership's nothing brilliant. It's 7. I mean, you can generally
So
roll.
you got to is it rolling 2 dice and you got to get higher or equal?
7 or higher.
Yeah.
There's a pass. If you do, just
That's average.
miss out on the odds,
That's on the average.
and you roll below 7, then you're battle shocked. We don't all fuck off like they used to.
Yeah.
Oh, you shot 2. I've rolled some dice. I didn't get
That does
a
take-
1, and now 15 of them have run away. None of that. That's probably a little bit excessive.
That does take the edge off losing the amount of models we have.
Yeah,
to be fair, but
they're just sort of like go, and you can't use a strat on them unless you use another strat which lets you for orcs. We've got that.
Yeah.
And they do lose the obsec or objective
They become
control
stunned.
now. Yeah, it goes to 0, so they can't control an objective. But of course, your next command phase, you're taking our test. If you pass away, you're off again.
Yeah,
Back to normal. Yeah, the much preferred boys over what they used to be. Unit 30 would be nice, but personally, I don't think it's necessary. Big take.
Right, Dred.
My next unit is the Tank Busters.
Oh, this is good. This is going to take a while.
Uh-huh. He's left. He's gone. He's had enough. Yeah, well, I think obviously the sore point is that now you have to have just 5 Tank Busters. You can't have any more than 5 Tank Busters.
I would argue we can only have 3.
Well,
And then 2 other fellas.
so
Oh my god, they all got fixed equipment.
Yeah,
I fucking hate that.
gone are the days where you can have a big unit of lots of rockets. It's not happening. So this is a unit that I think the reason that it needs highlighting is obviously because, well, the reason I'm highlighting it is because it's one that we're going to be looking at a lot, I think, sooner than most people think, because a lot of people think, oh, well, they're shit now. Not going to bother with them. I think when we get our new codex, probably February, March time, we're going to get some new Tank Busters.
Models, yeah.
Definitely. And I will predict they're probably going to change the unit because it doesn't actually define yet. They're stuck in a weird place with what they've got, because you kind of want to get them close with things like the Squig and the tank hammers.
Even the pistols, what's the range on the pistols?
Yeah, even the pistols, but then rockets
12.
from a distance.
12.
So are they anti-tank, so they need to define them a bit better.
We don't know what they are, basically.
Yeah.
They're stuck in a limbo.
Yeah.
I know why they've reduced it. Well, no, I don't know why. I think I know why they've reduced it to 5.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically, yeah, obviously it's based on what you currently get it. But the way they've done the blast rule now, if you could still have a unit of 15 with rocket launchers and you were shooting a unit of 20 fellas, whatever they are, there's lots of 20-man units out there, Necrons and Guard and Orks and Grots and what have you, you would be rolling D3 shots per person. That's 15 D3 shots, which is what it always used to be. But the way the blast rule that works is for every 5 models in the unit, the blast weapon gets +1. So a rocket launcher against a unit 20 is D3 +4, which means against a unit for the entire unit of 15, it would be 15 D3 plus 60 shots. Now, even Ork accuracy, that's an average of 80 shots. Rocket shots, strength 8, -2, 2 damage. That, even Ork accuracy, you're going to hit. I mean, 40 hits against a vehicle. Do you still get +1 against a vehicle? Or? +1 at the hit roll, +1 at the wound roll.
Yeah.
So you're going to be hitting with 40 shots on average. Orks hitting with 4. Oh, but you're not going to get unit 20 vehicles. But the point is, when I saw the blast rule, first thing I thought was Tank Busters. They're going to change something. And I thought they were going to nerf the rockets, maybe stop them being blast or something. I never thought they'd just go, oh, you can only have 5 and only 3 of them can have rocket launchers.
Similar units belonging to other factions, I don't know about other factions, have been affected in such a way? Have they reduced the amount of rockets all round?
There's not many units that I'm aware of which have a potentially large, and 15 is quite a large unit, of fully armed blast weapon models. The only one that comes to the top of my head is the Desolation Marines. They're the ones with all the Nerf guns and the T-shirt cannons. They've got blast weapons, and they come in units of 10.
The stupidest concept.
And when they came out, they were cheaper than Tank Busters, and they were just so. I mean, they're not now, but they were so much better.
Good, yeah.
I mean, not just the fact that they had a 3-up save and 2 wounds and all that, but their offensive profile was just.
You could have stuck with their offensive. To be honest,
but they did adjust their points and they went up a lot. They did shoot up.
Yeah.
So Tank Busters are going to change a lot, and our dear friend Steve-O uses big groups of Tank Busters, and that's going to have to obviously change, and he's going to have to model up some tank hammers to use. He's already got pistols, and he said. But and also you're going to need to have that knob as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to have to. I mean, you could have a unit before. You could run 15 of them without a knob. You didn't have to have the knob. Now you've got to have the knob.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, thought and the knob was no different anyway, was he? He had 2 wounds, but he still had a rocket launcher. He's still got a rocket launcher now.
Yeah.
But you could give. No.
But now, if you've got 15, you've got to have 3 units of 5.
You did have some options for him up until.
Yeah, I mean, this has been.
I think you could give them all
this has
rocket
been
pistols
amongst the worst.
And one of them tank out. He just never did because they weren't very good.
I mean, this has been amongst one of the worst editions to have options. I mean, they
These
really
are-
are
this is
kicking
just
the
the
hobbyists
index.
in the face.
This is just the index.
Yeah.
There is that to say.
I don't think it's going to be any different when the Codex lands, to be honest. And also, I'll say another thing. To sip some devil's advocate. My optimistic part of me wants to agree with you that we're getting new tank busters and they'll change.
Here's the
They were very meta throughout most of 9, and I wonder if they're just going to leave them crap for a
yeah.
while.
Well, this is where we've been played, because now here we are saying, oh, I want more nuance and I want more this and more options and blah blah blah. That this game works as well as it does or doesn't at the moment based on these cards on this index. As soon as we start adding codexes, we're getting the exact same bloat and bullshit that we didn't want from other editions. So the only way to have a balanced game is to stick with these and not have the codexes.
Yeah,
But
I
we're
mean,
gonna have the
actually,
codexes anyway. So.
I would do away with the buying the cards as well. Just make all.
But
of the
later,
rules
when we
online.
complain, they'll say, "Well, you wanted it." People are asking for the codexes.
No, they won't.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, they just
feel like you're being tricked into asking for what your own destruction almost. Yeah.
They did the same thing that Privateer Press did when they moved to War Machine Mark II, where it was just like, oh well, you know, your rules for your individual Warjack or whatever unit you bought is supplied with nature. But in order to understand how you build your army, you need to buy the army book. So they're just doing the same with codexes, where you know, you've got your rules for free. But if you want to actually make an army and play the game properly, you're going to need the codex. And it's just a way to con people into spending more money. And the rules should be entirely 100% and every single iteration free. And if you want to buy things, you can. If you want to buy printed versions, cool, sell them. But don't make them necessary. I think an awful lot of people would be happier if they did that. But I'd be interested to see what they do with tank busters. Some options would be good.
That's a big thing for me. If they said, you know, the unit of 15's no more, it's just you have 5 in a unit, and you can still have them with all rocket launchers, or you can put in a couple of pistols or a tank hammer. I wouldn't be happy with it, but I'd be okay with it, because it's one of these things I've never fielded a unit bigger than 5 anyway, personally. I know people do field them 10s and 15s and what have you, and I did always want to put 15 or so in a gargantuan Squig. But
are they?
It's the options I can't get away with. I just think you've dropped it to 5, and then you only have 3 with the ones you want. The rest of it you've got to have weapons where you've got to get up close, and like you said at the start, what do they want to be? Are they hanging back providing anti-tank firepower, or they're going to be right up amongst it, getting minced?
How many points are they? Do you know off the top of your head?
I think they're 125. I'll double check it, but they're around
for
that.
6 wounds that can be easily removed.
If they're going to have that,
From the board.
if they're going to have that mixed role where they are literally going hunting tanks with whatever they can, tank hammers, rockets, bombs, squigs, all those things,
135, sorry.
then they need to have better armour. They need to have a better save, or something
I'm
like
just
that.
wondering if for the points. I'm just wondering. Like, I mean, yeah, granted, okay.
Because if they're going in doing a mixed job like that, they need to be sort of armoured, and they do tend to actually be covered in bits of track and bits of scrap tank and stuff like that. So I think they should have a better save if they're going to perform that.
Oh yeah,
role.
they should have some kind of dodge save for when they're going up
But
against
here's
vehicles.
what's interesting, like I was saying, right, is I reckon they're going to get a new kit, and this is a unit that's got a very old kit. That's one of the resin kits, yeah. It was a metal kit before that. So Games Workshop currently have a focus on what's in the box, right? That's an old kit. They don't care about it. My other choice, we'll get to in a little while, is an example of a new kit and how that kit, they've got the tank busters, they force you to have what's in that kit, and that's all you can have, and you've got to have that and that number. they're not so tough with some of their more favourite newer units. And so hopefully that will give us an indication of where tank busters might end up somewhere like Commandos. Basically, I'm going to do Commandos in a minute.
Do you want to just do it?
Oh, fine. Yeah, all right, fine.
You
Done.
might
Well,
as well.
I just wanted to say, I know we're picking here the index cards, we're not going into the legend stuff.
Yeah.
But for the tank busters, what you were saying about the need to be more durable, I totally agree with. They're 135 points for the 5, which is the 6 wounds. I've found grot tanks, which you can get 4 for 155 points, I think it is.
Yeah,
I was just trying to find the points there, I couldn't find it.
They're
They're
better.
5 wounds each.
Oh, it's a 5 now.
They're toughness 6 with a 3-up save. All 4 of them have a rocket launcher. The commander has 2. So there's your 5 rocket launchers. Right, so they're hitting on 4s as well, not 5s.
Yeah.
So you've got it more accurate. You've got more. You've got the amount of shots you want to have from those models, and you've got them sitting behind a toughness 6, 5 wounds. I think a toughness 6, 5 wounds, 3-up save.
Yeah.
There's so much more durability there. Plus, if anybody comes within 9 inches of them, you can move them 6 inches in any direction with the scatter rule.
How much are the Beast Snagger Riders again that we started with?
Oh, I think they're. Oh God.
I bet they could rinse a tank for the same points.
Mate, you're probably not far off. The Beast Snagger boys.
I'm
are
thinking almost any Beast Snagger unit that you can get is probably better than the Tank Busters
not
at
Beast
the
Snagger
same
boys.
roll.
Oh, yeah.
Squig Ork boys, yeah, 110 points for 3.
So they're cheaper.
110 for 3 or 224.
And they've got way more wounds, they're way faster, they're tougher, and they're better at dealing with
Yeah, so
vehicles.
they have nerfed the tank
They've
busters.
both got bomb squigs. Similarities.
So the tank busters have ended up where they have ended up.
Yeah.
Commandos, on the other hand, they're still not brilliant because you still can't. They've still limited some of the options. So you used to be able to obviously run a small squad of commandos, which was a useful thing for sneaking in, capturing an objective that no one's really looking after, just being a pain in someone's arse. You know, it was a good thing to be able to do. You can't do that now. Now is it 10 and 20 or is it just 10? It's only 10.
I think it's just a 10 on there.
Yeah, just 10.
They only come in 10s,
Yeah.
not 5s, not more.
But you do have the choice to either arm them all with the slugger chopper or swap some of their options out. So you do still have the models that come in the kit, the breacher ram and the burner, the rocket launcher, and you've also got the bomb squig and distraction grot, which you might as well use because
Yeah,
you
definitely.
paid for them anyway with the points. So
You've
you're
got
paying,
the 2 shooters as well, haven't you?
yeah.
One of
so-
them's like the big shooter with a scope,
That's
and
it.
one's like the 3-barreled.
So you're paying for them, so you might as well have them. But like you said, there is times when you might just want to have just slugger choppers. But as a newer kit, they've retained some amount of options, whereas the tank busters haven't, and so I think this is
The exact opposite.
this is they're polar opposites. I think that if you want to know what the tank buster kit's going to look like, look at the Commando kit. I think
Or the
that's
tank buster kit of the future,
yeah,
as it were.
the new
I'm
tank
not
buster
sure.
kit.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
have they not just got out a load of options by accident because they
No,
had to be
because-
made for Kill Team, and Kill Team kind of need loads of options.
Oh.
Well, where's the sonic pistol? That's what I'd say to that. Where's the sonic pistol?
There is that,
people don't
and
use.
that's a really harsh. Yeah, that could be true. That could be true, but I would
Let's
like.
be hopeful. Let's be hopeful.
Yeah, on the hopeful front, right? Because that could hurt. But on the hopeful front, they could do something the same as the Commandos, where you end up with 2 ways to build most of the miniatures, and so you can have rockets, or you can have the pistols and the option for tank hammer and stuff like that. So then they can be as they are on here, where you can have them, and they might then be more viable options too, because you might go, do you know what? Actually, A, the model looks dope as fuck, hopefully, and or B, I love the new rules for it, so I'm gonna build a few of those anyway. And if they're smart and they do it like the Commandos kit, where you can have the 2 ways of doing it with tank busters, and they make some of the new weapons cool, then people will buy multiples because they're like, okay, I would love to have a load of rockets, and I would love to have some of those special weapons, and you know what? I'd love some spare rockets. So if they don't build the rockets in some stupid way that they're sort of got the handle stuck to the fucking.
Don't give them
rocket.
ideas.
Right.
You see,
Don't give them ideas.
I
If
think-
they make it so that you've got some rockets that you can use for other things, then people are going to buy that kit more.
I think what you're saying is spot on, because you look at the Commando kit and you have got the options because the kit comes with the options. So is that like foreshadowing what's going to happen with the tank busters?
And hopefully,
But
maybe.
but the other side of that would be another new kit, the boys,
Yeah.
where you haven't even got the options of all sluggers or all choppers anymore. You
Yeah.
couldn't even do that's the most basic fucking boy thing.
Yeah, you can't just have
You
shooters
can't have,
or
you can't have
sluggers
that.
and
They've
choppers.
done a new kit and went, yeah, you're going to have 5 slugger choppers, 3 shooters, a knob, and a special weapon. You're going to have it. You can choose your special weapon. Go on, I don't have a crumb. You can do that. And if the tank busters follow that route, they're just basically going to be doing a port from resin to plastic. The models might look nice.
Well, what I would
And I don't know
like,
which it'll be, and I fervently hope it follows the Commando
what
route.
I would like, the ideal
But
would
that is a
be,
kill team.
and not the ideal, but the ideal in the current setting and the current way that GW do things, the best scenario we can hope for in that environment would be that the Tank Busters new kit would be something along the lines of the Commandos, and that either Tank Busters now have a better armour save, and so therefore they can be a versatile unit of either or the kit gives you the options to make them as a more of a sort of go in for the kill Tank Busters unit, or a more stand back and hunt them down from a distance Tank Buster unit.
It's good that
So you could
Orks
lean
are
either
getting.
way.
It's good that Orks are getting decent cover saves because regular saves.
Fucking
Sorry,
ideas, I tell you.
just because like the thing that kind of annoys me is that like especially with Orks is we get our specialists and the specialists are cool, but then they're killed by a stray breeze. But they're priced like everybody else's specialists, even though everybody else's specialists, with the exception of like Eldar, tend to be more resilient, and in some cases, including Eldar, can be more resilient.
Yeah.
Further to my idea there of the two kits, with one for not close combat, but one close killing, one for sort of distance killing,
Oh,
would
that's
be
nice.
that
I like
if
that.
you get 2 squigs, like you get the distraction and the bomb squig in the Commandos, if you've got 2 bomb squigs with the tank busters, they could be 2 squigs, and you could either choose to arm them with the bombs and stuff for running in and exploding, or they could be armed with targeting equipment that aids the rocket stand back tank busters with their aiming down the way.
You chuck it in and gives them all +1 to hit.
Yeah, that would be the nuts. Honestly, I should be on the design team for Orks, 100%.
You're on Summit.
I'm on something.
It's a shame that
We all know that.
it's a real shame that the distraction grot is just a marker and not an actual unit that interacts in the game, though. I get that a lot with Gretchen things, and
Yeah, I used to like that little sort of, the mech aids and what have you.
Yeah.
Which isn't like a computer virus. It's like the little grot, because he was basically just there to soak up a
Hold the
last
spanner.
cannon shot or something like that. One, just it was quite cool. But yeah. Anyway, yeah,
Well,
tank busters
Yeah, I've double gone. Obviously,
and
Snick Rock
commandos.
goes with tank busters. Not commandos. Either.
did you want to actually say anything about the unit itself and like how it plays in the game?
No, it's just as a comparison to tank busters. I think.
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Yeah,
What else did I want to say about them?
Sneaky.
That was the main thing I cared about, to be honest with you. It was just feeling like, look, this is... I mean, they're beautiful miniatures. I care about them as miniatures. I haven't used them in game in 8th or 9th. So, I'm not 10th.
I've got them to build, but I don't have the instructions. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I
that's-
do,
that's-
but you can't have them because I'm still using them. And they are,
I've told
actually,
you, mate. You've got more chances of eating a Rubik's cube in the dark.
beautiful kit. Beautiful kit.
Challenge
Lovely-
accepted.
Lovely miniatures. I've enjoyed building models for 25 years or whatever.
that would
so
be-
a long time of my life. That has been one of the dullest building experiences of my fucking... I think I can think of a couple that were worse, that were building something like a big ship that I was just fucked off with. But for Games Workshop, that is the kit I have enjoyed building the least ever in my Games Workshop hobby is the Commando so far. What a horrible kit to build.
Yeah, it was. I don't like when I'm building it. I like to be able to play around with the posability, maybe swap a few things out, make a cut, reposition an arm, swap a weapon over, and all that kind of stuff. And with the tank, beg your pardon, commandos, and to be fair, the boys kits and a lot of the newer very monopose kits, that's you might as well be building Lego.
You can't cut it. You can't cut it all out and smooth it. You can't cut it out.
The pieces, but
you can't cut it out and clean them pieces first, and then go about building. You've got to do it one by one. So you've got to look for the number. All right, number 1 and number 2. Where's number 2? Should be next to number 1.
It's still in the box down there.
It should be next to number 1. Where the fuck is that? It's not on there. Hang on. Get another sprue. Oh my god, it's on this sprue. That's weird. Right, okay, I got number 1 and number 2. Right, clean them up. Oh, I fucking feel about them. Right, get them together. Where's number 3? It's not in either of these sprues either. Fuck me, it's on the 3rd sprue. Jesus, this is going to be fun.
Where's number 4?
Number 4 is probably back on sprue 1 or maybe sprue 2. You just don't know. It's all over the place. So, yeah, really horrible. It's like painting with numbers, except painful, more painful. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you got them?
What for worst kit?
No, for your next.
Oh yes.
Oh right,
that's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get past me now.
Farragut,
if
you were curious.
Yeah, we dragged it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've got 2 of his out of the way, which it does work out.
That means I've got sharp for a little while, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, we'll see. But
we'll see.
I'm gonna surprise everybody by doing killer cans. Yeah. Largely because I want to give out. I feel like. I mean, I have a suspicion that when the Codex hits, this might change. But the Grotzuka is still dog shit.
I've never used it. I don't think it's horrific.
It is still
it's got uses.
Dog shit. No, it doesn't. I'm going to make the argument. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to make a strong argument here. I think every other option is still better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go rockets all the way. I love rockets. The can shooters though are decent because they've got that devastating wounds in, which just makes them a little bit spicy.
Can shooters and rockets are the better options.
I would say that. There's the odd occasion where I'm sure you'll play a game and something will happen and you'll be in a situation and you'll go, I wish I'd give them Grotzukas. But it's going to be very, very.
I mean, the shooty power trip ability makes you disinclined to take the Scorcher anyway because you've got the chance of getting Ignore's cover on rockets.
Scarabs and lots of them.
So you don't need this.
Exactly. Right.
But the Grotzukas, right? They're still 18-inch range. They've always been 18-inch range.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because they're a fucking catapult. But all right, they're 18-inch range. And the best you can get is 6 shots. A ballistic skill 4+, strength 6, no AP, damage 1. I mean, a can shooter has 36-inch range. It fires 3 shots guaranteed. More or less the same, one less strength. But here's the thing, you can fire it twice as often, and it's got devastating wounds. And when it gets closer, it's firing even more shots. There is no reason at all, in any case, to take the Grotzuka. They should have made the Grotzuka auto-hit or something at some point. That's what they should be doing with it.
If it wasn't for the Scorcher,
they should have given it
I
torrent.
think they would have done that.
They should have given it torrent.
If they made it...
Yeah, because it's a...
Yeah, do you know what?
it's a burst weapon, isn't it? So actually,
I'd see it like a blunderbuss.
Yeah.
I suppose it hard. Yeah, I was going to say, because if we made a torrent, you wouldn't have Scorchers. Scorchers would be what's the fucking point in this weapon? However, if it was auto hits at half range, 9 inches, shorter range than a Scorcher, but still that's a good bunch of decent strength hits, knee AP.
But yeah, the Grotzuka still rubbish.
But isn't that nice that it's consistent throughout the
No. They just want to punish people who built cans with Grotzukas in 7th Ed by making sure that they can never build them again.
Was it good in 7th?
Very.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for chasing the meta,
You used to destroy
That's what you get for chasing
squads.
the meta.
I didn't chase the meta.
Destroying Terminators. It was brilliant destroying Terminator squads.
The only reason,
All mine have got them. All my cars have got Grotzukas.
That's the only reason Dim's bitter. Is quite literally like he was meta chasing way before everyone else, and everything's changed. Since.
Fuck you.
Everything's changed since.
Destroying Terminators.
And so he's bitter with everyone since for being a part of the rules changing away
That was
from
the
where
truth inherent
he
in the
had
system.
his miniatures built from.
We got 3 up safe. I suppose there's that.
Cans are good.
They're alright.
The Grotzuka, yeah, I will. I'm saying that, but I agree. The Grotzuka, I don't think it's shocking.
not
I just
exactly
don't think it's as
outstanding.
good enough to ever be used.
If you are going to make it that you don't pay extra points for other guns, you have to make all of them as good.
Yes.
If you don't have the capacity to do that, why are you charging money for rules?
What's its shot?
A D3 plus 3.
Right.
Which means
it's
that-
got blast.
Yes.
Right. So it's got the potential to put a lot of fire out there, but we're talking not as
Not
it's
Pun-
about
not
half as
punchy.
many as the rockets with the lower strength, no AP, and half the damage.
so hordes
But I
of
mean,
weak things.
That's tell you, a lot
Considering
less
the
damage.
rocket launchers and the cans are shooting you from further away and more often,
I know, mate, I know.
it's not making up for it.
But it's not a Grotzuka data card, it's a killer can data card. That's the unit. So just you don't look at the shittest loadout and go, well, this is what makes this unit terrible. The unit's good. I rate the
What was their
unit.
pulse movement? Was it 6 as well? Or
Yes,
was
it was 6, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is 10th edition, so since they did the rebrand, they've had 3 goals to get the Grotzuka good, and they haven't bothered.
No, but what about the rest of the thing, the actual killer can itself? The
Yes.
Grotzuka, yeah.
It's all right, but I mean, I'd like all of those options to be equally as good.
Well, it's not. Grotzuka shit.
Yeah.
Killer can. Was that it? Is that it? The
Yeah.
killer can's just Grotzuka shit. Do better.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean everything else hasn't changed. They're still about as good as they always have been. I think the rockets a bit better.
Unit size.
Still 3 to 6. Yeah, they've not really changed the killer cans in any way, shape, or form. They've given them the shoot your power trip, which is interesting.
Oh, the fluffiest fluffy rule.
Yeah, well, moderately fluffy.
it's moderately fluffy.
Yeah,
But it's as fluffy as it gets.
I see the fluffy rules of old as being the ones where you make a roll and it's generally a few dice and it goes from either, essentially a strength 2 weapon, which is going to do piss all, up to strength 12, which is chucking out mortals and taking out all
I would
sorts of
certainly-
things. Like the shock attack gun, which will destroy itself or take out a knight.
The randomness.
You know,
of that.
all that sort of thing. Where there's a lot of random factor involved, as opposed to just a single d6, which on 2+ is good and on a 1 it's not. It's an effort, and I appreciate it. I don't think it's
they should.
the fluffiest thing
Random
ever.
stuff should be like it was done in fantasy.
It's as fluffy as a week-old sock.
Yeah,
It's quite fluffy, but it's lost its fluffier'sness. It could be fluffier,
well, they could have just made.
and I'm
the
talking like a polyester.
Yeah, but yeah,
With a little bit.
they're
little
not.
bit of
They're
cotton.
not really pandering us to us
From
fluff
that
people
posh
anyway, are they?
conditioner,
Really?
you know.
They're
Yeah,
pandering
but like
to
you
all
haven't
of
put
us.
the right. You just put a little bit in, not enough as you should.
Yeah, but I mean, like this random should be done like it was done with Skaven in Warhammer Fantasy, like where it's like most of the time it doesn't do a whole load. Some of the time it horrendously fucks you over with your stuff, and then on those rare days you destroy something, and I mean,
Yeah, but that's how I see it now. But I mean, the rule, it's an effort, and like I say, I do rate cans. I think
it's an effort.
they hit like a truck in combat. They're quite durable, you know, with a lot of wounds, decent toughness, canny save, and with rockets and what have you, they've got that grot ballistic skill. They're chucking out serious damage. Yeah, I rate cans, and plus I do love the models. I do love the GW models for what they look like and what you can do with them.
They are one of the things that draw you into orcs, cans and dreads, aren't
Yeah,
they?
absolutely.
One of the things you go,
No, they're still an okay unit. Yeah, still need to get that Grotzuka to actually be not shit.
Do you want to do one of your others?
I can't do.
Go on then.
I've got a lot to say about this next one. Now, can you guess what it is? It might be mech guns. Yes, it's mech guns. Yeah.
Not big guns.
Yeah. No, big guns. Big guns that hit on 5s. If you don't move, if you do move 6s, what the fuck, Games Workshop?
Yeah.
You morons. Right, I've got the anger about the big guns out of my system.
I'm a little bit vexed at that, to be fair.
That is dog shit.
There'll be a house rule in it. Everyone will.
Well, yeah, we will be playing it properly because we're not idiots like whoever wrote that Legends book. Anyway, the mech guns, 6 wounds, 5 up save, not too shabby. I think that save's got a little worse, hasn't it?
It might have been a 4.
I think it was a 4 up before.
Yeah.
It's got a random special rule. Each time you make a ranged attack that targets a unit 10 or more, reroll a hit roll of 1, which is... Yes, that's a rule.
It's a rule,
Congratulations.
and it's a thing. If I've got mech guns, I'll be honest, I'm using them as me anti-vehicle type firepower. I'm not shooting them at
Which
units
makes
of,
no difference.
of 10 or more normally.
Whereas if the Grot Hordes thing still existed, they would be re-rolling ones anyway.
What they're coming in points-wise now?
Yeah, I've got no idea on the points.
That's a Grot Hordes thing from 8th, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the points?
The points for a mech gun is 45.
That's more.
It depends what you're firing. It's the same.
Yeah.
But then again, I've said with the Grots, the points, it's all subjective. Everyone's points is changing. It doesn't matter what it was in the previous edition.
So I'm gonna more or less recycle my opinion from the cans, which is that there's 2 guns that are good, and then there's the rest that don't really have much of a point. I would say.
Or the other one.
I think the bubble chucker is interesting, but I don't think anybody other than me will pick it.
I've seen it used quite a bit in bat reps online, like on other, like the channels that do the big stuff. They use it, and I think that's just to keep things interesting. Every time I see them use it, I think, "Oh, you're doing that for your divvies."
I mean,
you do get to roll your bubble now,
Yeah.
and then choose your target. Whereas in 9th, you chose your target, then rolled your bubble. So you were obliterating single infantry or doing lots of shit bubbles on tanks and stuff. At least that one you can choose.
Yeah, I like that. I think the bubble chucker's the winner for me. I like that, and I have 3 bubble chuckers, so I would take 3 bubble chuckers.
The custom mega cannon's solid. I don't know what the tractor gun's like now.
The tractor guns, to my mind, shit. Frankly, anti-fly 2+. So I'm guessing it hits flyers on 2+.
It wounds on a 2+.
It wounds on a 2+.
Anti
it is
a
definitely
wound.
pointless then. Right, cool. Devastating wounds. It's got 1 shot, 48-inch range. Hits on a 4+, which means suggests its own disuse. Strength 10, AP -2, damage D6 +1, which is, I suppose, potentially good. But when you consider everything else has multi-shot, why are you firing 1 shot that will probably miss on a coin flip versus any other gun that's probably firing more than 1 shot? Why would you use that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't use
even though it will
either.
wound the flyer on a 2+, it has to hit it first.
It does have to
and
hit
it won't.
It does have devastating wounds as well, the tractor cannon. So if on a flyer, when you roll your wound on a 2+, is a critical, which means it's devastating wounds. So
it would do D6 +1 mortal.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't have a unit of 3 of them.
But I mean, if you fired,
It's like 135
if you just
points.
fired a custom mega cannon at a flyer, you've got up to 6 shots that are higher strength, do the same -2 to the save, and only do D6 damage. I suppose the only downside is you can hurt yourself with the custom mega cannon because it's got hazardous.
Yeah, and the hazardous now is a lot more damaging to vehicles, which obviously the mech gun is, because vehicles and characters now take 3 mortal wounds. Infantry are destroyed, and vehicles.
Is
and
that with a
characters
1
take
to
3.
hit?
That no. After you've shot the cannon, so say you roll your d6 for a number of shots and you get 5.
All right, yes.
And then you roll your 5 dice.
So you roll A dice.
Afterwards,
and
you
on
roll
1.
A dice. If you've got 3 custom mega cannons in the unit, you would roll 3 dice, 1 for each custom mega cannon you fired, and for each one, the unit would take 3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So if you rolled 2 ones, you could take a cannon out straight away.
I mean, the custom mega cannon's still probably the best option.
I think so. Is the smasher gun still in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Smash
It
Is it
exists.
still D3 shots?
D3 shots, 4+ to hit, and strength 9. AP -3, which is good.
Yeah.
It's reliable work.
Reliable 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I want D6 shots every time. And if you're scared about hazardous weapons, shouldn't be playing orcs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Smasher guns are well,
I'm
of course.
interested to give the bubble chuckers a go. That's probably what I'll
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. I think they've got the place. I think they've all got the place. The tractor cannons used to hit flyers. They used to get a plus to hit against flyers, so they were just
Well,
still a single
they'd
shot, but a lot
negate
better.
that minus to hit flyers, wouldn't they? Because
Well,
you've got a minus to hit flyers.
They used to. With flyers have lost that now.
Wow.
We don't have minus
Yeah, so
one to
there
hit
literally
anymore.
is no point taking the tractor cannon at all. I really don't see the point of it.
I think if you've got a 50-50 chance of absolutely ruining a flyer's day. If you've got 3 of them, a couple of them hit, you could be plucking flyers out the air each turn.
I mean,
expecting 2 hits on 3 shots on a 4+ is possible.
I think you'd probably do just the same with the custom mega cannons.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
I don't see why. Maybe I'm probably missing something, but I just don't see.
You can stick
what the
the
tractor
mech
cannon
there.
has
You can
that the
stick a
custom
mech
mega
in
doesn't.
to get the mech can give one of them. So if you've got a unit of 3, it only affects one of them. +1 to hit.
Heck, with the smasher gun, you could probably wreck a flyer with 3 smasher guns, easy.
I'm not sure on the wounds on most flyers. I think they're all a little bit more
Well, it's -3.
hefty.
-3. I mean, strength 9's still pretty good.
Strength 9 is pretty good. Nobody's picked a flyer for these, so I don't know what they're.
I think they're about 12.
I think they are maybe 10. I don't think they quite got up to 12.
Yeah.
Oh, regardless.
But yeah, the custom mega cannon is 12. So I was thinking maybe the custom mega cannon probably win on force.
I'd go with custom mega cannons. I would, and I have, and I do.
Yeah.
And I'll do it again.
I do think that is to some extent. I'll just go with this because that's about all I probably want to say on this front. But interesting that they've lost the Gretchen keyword, which I don't entirely think that makes sense. But okay.
If the other units that you pick, I mean the cans and that, have they got the Gretchen keyword?
Actually, no, they don't either.
I don't know if that's just not necessarily something they need to
Kind of
different.
sucky.
Well,
But-
not if they don't need it. I mean, you could write it on yourself in Biro if you like. But if they're doing the rules, there's no point of being there.
Yeah. But
Write it on. You don't mind, do you?
he will. He will mind.
No,
That's
if
why
it
I'm tempted.
Not if it makes them happy. No.
I don't know. It just seems a bit boring that yet again the custom mega cannon is the auto include, and it's just like it was the same for the last couple of editions. Like, are they even trying to juggle the rules of these things?
You see, I honestly think
Maybe they're in their head office looking at people that went, ha, I'm going to outwit them. I'm going to magnetise my mech guns. And they're going, yeah,
Well,
you
fuck you
wasted
guys
your
up.
time, didn't you? Yeah, you wasted your time.
right. I'm going to have a look at the flyer toughness. I've only got the Ork flyers here.
Well, they're probably in amongst these cards, aren't they?
If there will be, let's see who gets there first. Right. Why am I searching data for
Burner toughness 9.
9?
Yeah, they're all 9.
Got his head, didn't he? Fucking nipped.
It's not the toughness, it's the wounds.
Yeah, it's the
No, but toughnesses, but no,
We're
toughness
looking at
for
the
wounding.
toughness for wounding
Yeah.
the flyer.
Oh, that's an Ork flyer. I don't know if
Yeah,
other
Ork
flyers.
flyer probably the weakest flyer,
Yeah.
probably.
But I mean, you'll be in that. I just know because I'm sure I shot a land speeder recently and it was toughness 10, and I was like, oh fuck off, toughness 10. Well, that's
Just
like
tell
that.
land speeder, fucking what?
Yeah, but I just think if you can get the hit with the tractor cannon, that 2-up to just go, fuck your save, fuck your invuls, fuck your special fields or whatever you've got.
Do you not have to
if
get a
you've got
6 though to do the mortal
them. To get a
wounds?
critical hit? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the tractor cannon has anti-fly 2+, so any 2-up the wound is counted as a critical hit.
Oh, I didn't know that bit. That makes some sense.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what I'm saying. So when the Beast Snagger boys had the 4-up,
Oh, okay.
they count
Yeah.
as critical. So if the critical does anything additional, like with devastating wounds or whatever, in that case, a tractor cannon 2-up, it's D6
so if
plus
it
1
wounds
mortals.
a flyer, it does D6 plus 1 mortals.
If you roll a 2-up, regardless of the flyer's toughness, it's a flyer in super duper manky
Alright,
fortress, toughness
That's good.
14. I don't think that's,
That's
the
good.
thing.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it'll do with DC.
I-
You've got to get
I
the hit.
rescind my comments.
You've got to get the hit. And on a 4-up with 1 shot, that is less
I
likely.
still think a custom mega cannon gives you that flexibility that you're going to be able to do that to anything. That it's probably still better,
It
but
absolutely
that is
does.
better than I thought it was.
A bank of 3 tractor cannons is a luxury. It's 135 points, but they'll wreck a flyer, they'll ruin a flyer. But like you
Probably
say,
nothing else. Yeah.
other stuff, yeah, it costs the mega cannons all the way. It always has been.
I mean, yeah, I suppose. Can you still take a squad of 5?
Mega cannons, no, it's up to 3.
Oh.
Excuse me, audience. I was daydreaming for about beast snaggers, which is probably the first time I've done that since they were released. Oh, it actually was. I was thinking about beast snaggers.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh yeah. Do you know? I wonder if because they're not shunning technology. They're not
No.
they're not feral. So maybe if they had a Death Dread, a particularly killy one, you could have a snagger Death Dread.
You could.
That
Is this a segue?
Maybe.
Because I was thinking about Death Dreads.
And I was thinking your next thing should definitely be a snagger thing, but it's not.
It's not. It's a
It's
Death
not.
Dread thing.
Yeah.
What a coinky dink.
Yeah, it's just me daydreaming.
He wasn't
looking at your
listening.
card.
So that's a Death Dread to a Death Dread.
Oh yeah. The last conversation. Yeah.
And we've went full circle. Right. So yeah,
Are you Death Dread?
We've gone through the round window. It's all right. Crack on.
so my last pick
Sure, go now.
for the talk. This is a talk about. This is not a. Ooh, I love this kit. I mean, I do love a Death Dread. If you've seen, I've got a lot of Death Dreads. I love the kit. I loved using them, and I'm in a funny place now with the Death Dread. The Tank Busters, I'm sad, but the Death Dread is just a funny place, and I'm in a funny place because it's a unit of 1 now, which basically means you can have 3, not 9. There's nothing better than plopping 3 down on a teleporter into your opponent's backfield and just watching them scatter.
Teleporter's gone now.
And that's gone as well. But a unit of 1, so you can only have... Now, I never fielded more than 3 in one game. I've done 3 a few times. Never
But
went to 4, or 5,
But the ambition was always there.
or 6, or 7.
But
8 was right out.
I'm sure it was always
But-
in the future plans.
But I only ever went to 3. But yeah, I wanted the option. I did write a list, a 2,000 point Dreadwire list, which was just walkers, dreads and cans, and there was 9 in that. And I never got a chance to
and
use
if
it.
only Games Workshop could have known, they could have waited an edition until you bought them extra dreads to then change it.
But yes, that
And
would...
they could have made more sales.
Yeah. So yeah,
Idiots.
I am disappointed I can only have 3. But as I've never really fielded more than 3, really, I feel like that's just... The potential's disappointing. But I'm also disappointed at the fact that there are 150 points when there used to be 85.
Jeez.
That is fucking... Now, I'm saying there used to be 85. There were 85 with 4 shooters, which you'd have to be a madman to do.
No wonder they're not 1 to 3.
Steve-O, no, shout out there. Or 4 claws, which was the sensible way to run them. 4 killer claws.
interesting, yeah.
Just get them stuck in and they would wreck face. If you put 4 KMBs on them, or 4 rockets, or 4 scorchers, yeah, you paid more. And it was close. It was about 125,
But each claw is only 1
135.
extra attack each now. So,
But it always was.
Was
It was. You got 3 attacks to start with, and then you got an extra. You got 7 basically with 4 claws.
the way I played it.
Yeah, nah. It's just the way everybody else did. So you still get the 7 attacks, and because I like the 4 claw loadout, I'm looking at 85 points of dread, and it's now 150. And I know the points are different, and it's a different edition, and this has a better profile. It's now movement 8 instead of 6. It's toughness 9 instead of 7 or 6, possibly.
7, I think.
It's got a 2 up save, not a 3 up save. Still got the 8 wounds, but it's also got the piston driven brutality, which is forces a battle shock, and it's chucked an invul on there. It's got a lot of extra, but that extra 65 points just
Still
sticks.
don't match a Space Marine Dreadnought to be a single individual.
To be honest with you, I think a Ballista's Dread is not much more than it. It's like 10, 20 points more, I think. And if you compare shooty to shooty, the Ballistas would... Yeah, it's only got 8 wounds for a start.
Yeah.
It does seem like GW have really been trying to make Dreadnoughts back to the big behemoth that they used to be in some of the older editions, but without actually doing any of the work.
I would like to see this. If that had 12 wounds, I'd be a lot happier. I would be a lot happier. And maybe it's just because I was so focused on dreads for so long, especially building them. I've done a lot of 4 claw loadouts because that's what I used in games because it was cheap and it was effective for what it did. And now it's, you know, whatever you want. It's 150 points. Maybe if I just sort of like thought, right, I'll give it 1 claw. I'll give it 3 really big guns. Then that might be a bit better. But it's just, I'm in a funny place with it. I don't hate it. I love Death Dreads. I'll always love Death Dreads. I just...
For the points, there's other options.
I do have to say, I found the Ork vehicles this edition quite lackluster so far. So I'm expecting the Codex to do some heavy lifting there. I'm expecting some custom jobs or something to give them some teeth, because at the moment they look kind of crap. At the very least, I'm hoping that there's a Dread Mob army roster thing where your Death Dreads become battle line, and then at least you can get 6 of them. So that's
there might well be. There's going to be something like that. I mean, we've got the is it the wild attachment? God, you think I'd know what it was called, wouldn't you? You know, basically it's not far off the old Goths one, with the exploding 6s, and I love that, and I'm out of the moon with that, to be fair. But when they bring out these other ones, they're not going to have. I don't know if they're going to follow the clan sort of specific law bonuses and boosts and that. You could do with Bad Moons if they bring out a shooty war, Dakar war, and it's just exactly the same as the index one, but it's exploding 6s to shoot. On shooting, brilliant.
It wouldn't be Bad Moon, though.
I'd love it. I'd love it. And like I say, the thing is, though, they just have to call it the Dakar war. And if you want to run your Bad Moons as a Dakar war, or you want to run your Freebooters as a Dakar war, for fuck's sake, if you want to run your Snake Bites or your Evil Sons, your Death Skulls as Dakar war, you can do it all. And that's what I do like about the way they're doing these new things with like the Space Marine detachments and the Ork detachments. You can just run a one you want and go, well, I'm using this chapter, but or this clan, and these are all Goths on bikes. Yeah, these are all Death Skulls on Squigs.
Speed War, maybe.
Yeah, Speed War, definitely. Dread War, love it, and many more.
You can still make the Dakar Dread.
You can still make a Dakar Dread. Yeah, you still make a Dakar Dread. 150 points.
Dakar cans. We want Dakar cans now. Sort of Dakar cans out, GW.
My next choice
is that cans with 2
Mega Knobs. Right.
Yeah, I want them.
Now, Mega Knobs
for you, but no,
is saying that... Yeah, sorry, dude. That I used to run 10. Can't do that now. It's either 2 to 6. So again, we're going with a box theme thing, but what I would say with Mega Knobs is that their role has changed now. I don't really see them as that. Like what I used to do is like to deliver them in a battle wagon and have them as a big hurt unit that someone's got to deal with. They're right in their face and they're going to smash up, make a big hole in their fucking line. It'd be a real problem. Whereas now, I think your best bet for Mega Knobs is probably to have units of 3 sitting on objectives, maybe even like backfield objectives, and just challenge people to come and get them. They're going to be immovable objects as such.
You think people would come and get them though? Because you sit there with Grots doing that and nobody gives them monkeys.
Well, that's it. No one will. They're going to...
How much are 3 Mega Knobs?
3 Mega Knobs.
Mega Knobs 3 is 100 points. 3 Mega Knobs, 100 points.
I mean, that's not terrible.
So what we got for that? You got 9 wounds.
The irony is though, Grots are better at doing it because the Grots are easier to shift, but they've got objective capture 2 rather than objective capture 1.
Yeah, you just need a couple of guardsmen walk up with 3 Mega Knobs and just stick the toe near them and they've lost the objective. I think Mega Knobs, I think they're still the same. Stick them in a battle wagon, stick them in a truck, chuck them up close.
Don't punchy to me anymore.
Right, how many attacks to the... Let's all look at the card. That's Dread's crotch.
How many attacks? What we're looking at the
Yeah, see for the kill saw, Power Claw.
Power Claw is 3 attacks, 4+. 4+.
That was -1 to hit.
Strength 9, AP -1, damage 2.
It's -2.
-2, sorry. And then the kill saw's -3 AP and more strength, but less attack.
Is it 2 attacks?
It's 2 attacks either way with a kill source.
But it's twin linked.
Twin linked if you take the twin kill saw. Oh, bastard with these pickled eggs, you're spoiling it.
Yeah,
actually, I suppose you do want to get them stuck in because you've got that devastating wounds on the wire, haven't you?
You got on the wire. You'll get an extra point of strength and the extra attack.
Combi weapons have got devastating wounds.
You've
Which
got
is
crumpling
interesting.
time. During the battle round in which you call a while, melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the
Oh
devastating
yeah,
wounds
sorry, yeah,
ability.
beg your pardon.
So
Special
you've
rule
got
for
some
it. Yeah,
serious power correct.
yeah. So the power claws.
And
So the 6 to wound, they'll call
Kill
mortals. So those 2 wounds, if against a unit of single wound infantry or models, whatever, you know, you'll start tearing through them if you get a few 6s to wound. And if you've got a big, I say a big 6, it's not big. If you've got a unit of 6 of them, power claws, 3
obviously
attacks,
I'm
4
going
in
to
the
play
war.
them and see how
20
I
other
feel.
attacks.
But this has got to be one edition where I'm not, you know, like I've always been excited about my Meganobs. I'm not excited about them this time.
I don't see them being much different the way they were before, apart from the unit size.
I suppose it's because I'm also disappointed with the battle wagon. So, you know, it's ruined my delivery system for them because it's not really a properly viable. I suppose I'll stick them in trucks now and they'll be smaller units.
Well, you can stick 2 units of 5 in. I mean, there's minimum unit size or maximum is 6.
Well, actually,
but you
12,
can-
isn't it? It's 12 in a truck.
They are
you
not-
can-
they're
yeah,
not-
they take up 2. So you
Yeah.
could put 6 in a truck, and a battle wagon's got 22. You could put a unit of 5 and another unit of 5 in a battle wagon and
Where
stick
does it
one of
say
them.
they take up to?
Warboss.
Where does it say?
On the
It
front
tells you
of
on the actual transport.
On the transports.
Yeah, Stone Boys take up 2 spaces. Who the hell's putting Stone Boys in the truck?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Who's doing it? Is it you?
Hmm.
Are you doing it? Pack it in. Stop it. Silly.
I now do want a terrain piece that is a giant gun that fires stone boys. I want that.
That was on a thing, wasn't it? I've seen that.
I'm thinking of samurai pizza cats, to be honest. I don't know what you're thinking of.
Samurai pizza cats.
They make great pizza, but that ain't all.
Samurai pizza cats.
Ready, aim, Mount Coochie. I can do that. Blast
And the pizza cats are on their way!
Fire space marines at things, and that's a problem solver right there. You know? And I was like, that's quite cool. So I was just imagining, it made me think of the angry marines, you know, the yellow angry marines being fired out of guns, and like, just literally like, that's what it made me think of, and yeah, so that leads on to your Orky cannon.
Right, Mega Knobs and yeah, I think they're all right.
Yeah,
They've got a use. I still haven't really. I've never fielded Mega Knobs in a single game.
Have you not?
No.
I used to use them a lot as foot sluggers.
The other annoying thing, obviously, is that the weapons, the close, the special weapons,
The combi weapons.
The combi weapons.
Yeah,
is,
that's a kick in the spuds.
The combi
That's a
weapon is
cop-out.
a shit thing.
I think the combi weapons, because they've done the combi weapons like they've done with the Orcs, they've done it across the board that anybody who has a combi weapon, whether it was Space Marines with Meltlife combis and combi flamers and all the rest of it.
Oh, they've done it to them as well.
They've got exactly the same profiles.
I
right.
think
So
they
it's
will.
across the board, but the difference is they're not bad when they hit, but we don't hit as much as the likes of Marines hit.
I think they were worried they were going to run out of space to add the extra guns because this big blank space here is there's not a lot of space there for more guns.
Oh, they've left that space so you can buy Rowan Gretchen, make the card better.
Yeah. Well, it would. It would. That's a fact. Right. Okay. So
have you
we,
lost another one there?
well, there was.
I had a big mech with it, so
Yeah.
I just.
Oh, was that sorry?
Yeah. Were you just twinning?
I just twin the card with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Because
might
they do
have
with
managed to.
the Mega
Mech.
Knobs, a big mech in Mega Armor and a Warboss in Mega Armor. Either of those are both cracking additions. The Warboss makes them much more fighty, but the big mech just makes them.
Can bring them back from the
Yeah,
dead.
he brings them back. Resor corrected them. Is that right?
If you are going to run them, yeah. I mean, alright, I was saying no, I'm not so excited about them. That is the dynamic I am excited about trying out, is the big mech.
Yeah.
It'd just be interesting to see.
You know, that
how-
would immediately make me think that might be a good excuse to break out your tin boys if you've got them and run the tin boys as mega nobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a big mech and mega armor. That's a
Patching
cool
them up,
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good. To tell you what, that's a fucking brilliant sort of hobby project as well. Just
Yeah,
like,
I'm really
bashing up
unfortunate.
stuff like
I'm
that.
feeling really, really sore that I brought it up. Although I do have tin boys, so I could just use the old tin boys. But I've always wanted to make more.
Yeah.
I'll make more.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. It's fun though. Right, we're down to the last one. I feel stressed when happy. This is that's how my brain works.
Well, this is one I care about too because I use it often.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what other grot units are there? None, but I do like Defcopters, so we're going with Defcopters. You weren't expecting that, were you? Yeah. Oh yeah, I like a good Defcopter. They're not bad. I was having a look at these earlier. Although Twin Linked is back to rerolling hits, isn't it?
Rerolling wounds.
Rerolling wounds.
Yes.
Why the fuck have they done that?
You know that happy bit? I think I counted 3 seconds.
Yeah.
They only hit on 5s. What the fuck? They're not gonna hit. They're just gonna miss. There's no point them being twin linked. Might as well just go. Here, take this fucking rubber mallet. That's about as effective as this gun.
See, the thing is, I'd love to argue, but you can't. You can't, because the whole twin link thing of halving the shots where there's 2 guns, we'll just go back to the only shoots the single amount of shots, but you can reroll wounds.
This is a
is
shooting unit
great.
that's better in combat.
It's great for the units or the factions who get the hits, and then they can consolidate and confirm those wounds.
Yeah.
We don't get the hits.
Because we're orcs.
Yeah,
Honestly,
half the shots is half.
This is a combat unit. This is no longer a shooting
It's
unit.
a dynamic that was designed to make it simpler for things like Space Marines, and they've just copied
And everybody,
They've
or
just-
every
and it
single
just-
faction except the ones that can't really hit very well, so
Yeah.
rely on weight of shots, and it took away a lot of shots. Yes. It is a shame. It is a shame. They are still all right.
I mean, the rockets and mega blasters are still good. They're very good. They've got very nice profiles. Quite nice. Custom mega blaster D6 damage.
Spinning
AP2.
blade's not as good as it was either, I don't think.
What's the strength on a spinning blade?
Strength 5, but you get
Damage
6
1.
attacks with a damn thing, which is not bad at all.
You do. It used to be you got 3 attacks. Sorry, you rolled for 3 hits for every attack you had, and they had 2 attacks. But on the on the 2 turns of the War in 9th, you got an extra attack, so they were hitting with 9 attacks.
I am trying
2
to
turns.
understand how a helicopter's blades that have to spin fast enough to keep the fucking thing in the air has no AP, but a chopper held by an orc has 1. I'm trying to understand on what fucking planet that works.
I'm sure they had -1 AP in 9th as well. But
We can find out.
I'm not going to find out. I'm positive it was -1.
You know, actually, I'm really losing enthusiasm for this unit.
But
Yeah.
they have come down. For a unit of 3, has dropped from 150 points, because it used to be 50 points each, down to 115.
Oh,
so that's-
Ambassador with these pickled eggs.
That's 11 or 12 points less.
We're going to have quite a party with these pickled eggs.
So, if you're fielding 9, you can afford an extra unit. But you can't. That would be 4. What's a bomb rule?
Each time this unit ends a normal move, you can select one enemy unit it moved over with its massive 12-inch movement.
Basically, they're not straight over it. It's a fly. It's different now.
And roll 1d6.
That's the other
For
thing.
each model in this unit, and on a 4+, the enemy suffers 1 mortal wound.
It's not a flyer either. It's just got the fly keyword. So that brace yourself. That means that you move up to the thing, then you measure up, over, measure down.
You
So-
don't.
Yeah, you do.
Don't wind them up, you'll have a heart attack.
It's the truth. That's how it works now.
Yeah, so for each Roll 1d6 for each model unit. For each 4+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So you fly over 10 unit, 10 model
You fly
unit.
over terrain, you've got
Roll
to
10
up
dice.
over it.
You're gonna get a few 4-ups. An average 5.
For each model in this unit.
Or is it this unit or the target unit?
I don't know. I think you roll for each Deathcopter.
Let's have a look.
That is not clear. Who the hell wrote that rule?
Each time you embed a normal, you can select one enemy unit that is moved over during that move and roll 1d6 for each model in this unit.
I mean, you could take that both ways.
I mean, you could really.
Yeah, that's not very well
you
written
can
at all.
select one enemy unit each time this
It's
unit
probably
ends a normal move. So this unit's sort of specifying that this is the target unit.
I mean, I hope it's
You can
the
select
unit you've
one
moved
enemy
over.
unit
But
moved over during that move and 1d6 for each model in this unit. I think it's Deathcopters. I think you're right. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit extra. A couple of mortal wounds.
done.
We didn't have time to go through the data cards we don't like, just our favourites.
Interesting. The ones that we wanted to draw attention to.
To be
That's
fair,
as I saw it.
there's more in there which I prefer. I like. I mean, I was toying flash kits. I do like flash kits. Not only are the models beautiful, but I do think they've got a place in Tent as well. I quite like them, and especially if you've got bad luck with them, I think they'll be decent. But
I was much more enthusiastic when I just read the core rules. Now that I've read now that I've started to read the battle sheets as well, just yeah.
I could have predicted that.
Just honestly, just boring. On the whole, boring.
So on a positive note, whilst visiting Dim, we've been doing some modelling as well, haven't we?
Yes.
We have. And have you got what you've been creating?
I don't have much. Yeah.
Well, on the beast snagger front that Sid was on, I've been working on a beast boss. That's what I've been making. My own version of the beast boss.
I've been building Cromlech copter cans. And
That one had a broken or missing blade.
yeah, I lost a blade, so I bodged one up from Truck Kit. I will probably put a decent picture.
yeah, just
of that.
take a photo.
Take a
and stick it
decent
on.
picture because it actually, it does
It's pretty
work
decent,
really
yeah.
bloody well, yeah.
I've got nothing here.
I mean, he's done more than us. That's how how it always is.
We've been over to Sid's and we've got up to his cabinets.
Yeah.
Yeah. does make you feel
Inadequate.
I feel good because I feel like I've inspired people.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I only started back in the hobby 3 years ago, so that's all in the last few years. And
And I've given you that many ideas.
that
in
many
that short
ideas, that
space of time.
inspiration.
Yeah, because inspiration was your idea, you know.
Before you came up with that, people just sat around doing that.
I'm sure they did.
No, but to be fair, I do mean it, because when I did start back into it, the first thing I found was like, oh my god, there's stuff about Warhammer on the internet, which sounds like a fucking stupid thing to say, but you know, I hadn't really thought about it before, because first stint, there was no internet.
There's even stuff about sewing and stuff on there.
Yeah, I've seen them now. But yeah, I found the channels, both your channels, Steel's channel, Scar's channel, Clint's, Rivers and Daka, Palo, you know, all these channels, and
all through me.
and many more besides.
All through me, was it?
All through you, yeah, why not? And yeah, the inspiration is there, and that's why it's good to have a sort of community going on.
Thanks,
you know.
mate. Thanks. I think that was a thank you.
Yeah.
I also sometimes make
And
YouTube content.
this is why I've got you these flowers.
You just buy me miniatures, mate. It's fine.
Doesn't like it that much.
Or give me
And
that.
but seriously, I think you must get like a lot of pleasure from it when you see somebody sort of take you from your ideas and
Actually
and
produce
work and
something.
surpass you and become, you know, like the master. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, you don't have to, mate. You know, the evidence is there. let's put them all on scales and weigh. No.
I wish most people
Well,
in the
I mean,
hobby did bring
if
stuff.
we're going to talk about evidence, then I mean, I can talk my way out of this, but evidence is slightly lacking.
No. But yeah, so that was the data cards anyway. Little bonus episode with half the war bosses.
Didn't you love it? As much as I did.
It's like being down under for me. Being up here in the north.
What? Just...
Well, I'm southerner down, well, not down under. Up here.
Up here, yeah.
All the way up here.
You went upside down so far, you went up. Yeah.
It didn't take too long, actually. Do you know, I think it took me longer to get to fucking Peterborough 3 times with Steve-O.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Then it did to drive up here, weirdly enough. Like, I drove all the way up here in about 5 hours.
Turns out you're better at navigating for yourself than you are for Steve-O. That's an interesting lesson.
He was supposed to be navigating for me.
Oh,
we were
right.
driving, he was supposed to be navigating for me.
Oh, right, so, yeah.
He couldn't even get us out of his town, so then I let Google take over, and he couldn't, honestly. And so, yeah, Google took over, and Google then decided we
Can't go straight on. It's the
we
sea.
hadn't seen enough of that tunnel. She's like, you know what? There's a really good tunnel around here. You need to see it. Yeah, I don't think you was looking out the window, both of you, all of the time. Please go back and try again. No, you was just talking about having experienced a tunnel again. Go back and actually look.
So the lesson we've learnt is that next time we have a meet, we do not let Steve-O try to go anywhere on his own. Or maybe do
allowed.
if he's doing well. And he'll get lost. And then Sunday turns up for an hour.
No. Next time round, Steve-O's driving.
Hey.
I drove last time. Steve-O's driving this time, and he's got a decent sound system in his car. So we're gonna be like Ali G in
the massive.
Yeah. We're putting up to people.
I'm
lights.
so home with the Downies. It's just
the window pulled down, and there'll be us 2 wide boys. Yeah. West Side blood.
Right. Yeah. I think we're even further off topic now. Should we just wrap this up?
yeah.
Wrap this up?
Wrap it up.
Let's just wrap it up.
Yes.
This has been your host, Dim of the Reapiness.
I have been your host. This has been a day. You're welcome.
I've been Dread.
Bonus.
Probably enough said.
Bye.
Yes, and learn from my mistakes or something. I'm still working on the catchphrase.
I'm the only one with a good one, but no.
I think mine's pretty good. Bye. And that's when it should end.
Enough said.
No, we can't.